They may have crowed too soon. They may have beaten Chelsea, but they hadn't played the tune. And Ben White tried to clear it, gave Ramsdale no chance. The Arsenal fans are crying, cause top four's nearly ours. Alley, alley, alley. Alley, alley, alley. Alley, alley, alley. Alley, alley, alley. Well, now we go to Norwich. A point is all we need. If Arsenal don't beat the Toffees, qualification's guaranteed. The golden boot is Sonny's. He only needs one chance. Then can we all stop screaming Spursy? Cause top four's really ours. Alley, alley, alley. Alley, alley, alley. Alley, alley, alley. Alley, alley, alley. Yeah, come on, you Spurs!
Yes, guys, you know time. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan. And today we bring you the final pre-match pump-up to the season as Tottenham head to Norwich, needing just 1 point to secure Champions League qualification. Everybody give a big up to Shawnee in the comments for providing a bit of a party atmosphere to get us all going here nice and early. Of course, you can see what a panel we have today. No Jack. Jack is on his way home, racing on his way home from a wedding to try and make the watch along. So we'll wait and see whether he makes it in time. But as you can see, we are joined by the one and only Don Brady. How are you keeping, my man?
Great, David. Absolutely wonderful. Can't wait for 4 o'clock to come along. To put this thing to bed and get top 4.
I can't wait, my man. I cannot wait. Kuva, how are you keeping, brother?
Doing well here, thanks, David. Bit bittersweet today because football season's ending, just as starting to enjoy it again.
Yeah. It's a shame that Kuva's just starting to enjoy it again and it's taken away from that. Don't worry, though, Kuva. You have all next season, my man. All next season.
True.
We have the vocalist, the one and only Shawnee Boy from Spurs Touch. How are you keeping, brother?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm really excited. Like Kuva, you know, it's always a shame when it's the last game of the season. But like Phil, I also can't wait for the game to be over because as the morning's progressed, I've got a little bit more nervy, a little bit more squeaky bum time. I'm not going to lie.
I love it. I love it. And Daigle, how are you keeping, my man? Good to see you up nice and early, of course, to join us today.
Oh, of course, mate. Getting up, mate. I've been up since 5 o'clock because of blooming Simba once again. But today does not matter. I was going to be up early. The shirt is on ready. We're winning. It's as simple as that. With this shirt on, we don't lose. So, and it's good to be in the company of great people in the chat and obviously on the camera.
No, it really is. It really is. Everybody, there's already 117 in-house. Make sure you absolutely obliterate that like button. You wouldn't walk into your mother's house with dirty shoes. You wipe them on the carpet. So it's just like that. Smash that like button. Feel free to smash that subscribe button. And guys, also feel free to get your super chats in at any time during the show. Really does help out absolutely everything we do here at the Irish Hotspur with your thoughts, feelings ahead of today's game. Whether you agree, disagree with panel, and basically it just helps you skip the queue. But do not worry, we do try and get everybody's comments up. We understand it's a big bad world out there. Some people are even just struggling to get to work with the oil prices out there. So we will bring everybody's comments up. But what we do want to see is everybody in the chat with a membership. We want you to have that special badge beside your name. We will be upgrading them as soon as the season ends. We'll be giving away a lot more to the members. So, guys, everyone grab that channel membership. But look, we'll see who's in the chat with us, and then we'll kick it off if Sean already hasn't kicked it off. We've got Scott Hynam. He says, need a link for the game. My man.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, I think we're all getting like that, my man. Look, email me or something. I'll try and I'll tell you what I use. The regular says I was more confident for the North London derby. No, my man, I'm confident. It's Norwich, bottom of the league. It should be job done today. Anthony Gray says, in Conte we trust. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Anthony Gray. Hope you're keeping well, mate. On your bike, Scott. Big up on your bike, Scott. He says, big up, lads. Working until 1:30. Then getting ready for the game. Come on, you Spurs. Final game. Let's not F this up. My man, big yourself up. Rush home from work and get back for the game. Big up on your bike, Scott. Sue Smith says, nervous. Come on, you Spurs. No need to be. No need to be, Sue. Hope you're keeping well. We've got Mick Herman. Good afternoon, lads. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Mick. I hope you're keeping well, brother. RAA says, come on, you Spurs. Let's win. Big up, my man. I hope you're keeping well. We've got Spaghetti Slayer. I'm already so excited for next season. No doubt we will win. Win today and back content in the summer. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Irish Army. Big up, my man. Couldn't agree more. Peter Kipp says, we better make you air for Champions League. We will, my man. No worries. We will. Little Cookies in the house says, Norwich stand as much chance of scoring as I do with Jennifer Lopez. That, my man.
Interesting choice of celebrity to go after, Little Cookie. Interesting. Jennifer Lopez.
Now, when I was growing up now, lads, she's
about 60 now, though. I know she's still in great shape, but it's an interesting choice, Little Cookie, is what I'm saying.
You know, if that's what Little Cookie wants, my man, Little Cookie gets it. Daniel Larson says, yes, lads, last game. Need Daddy Hoiberg to score so I can get some inner peace in the summer. I love that, Daddy Hoiberg. Big yourself up, Daniel. Dark Soul G says, let's win today and see Gunners lose as well. Come on, you Spurs. Look, I'll be honest. I actually expect Everton to turn up hungover. I don't think they'll put in much as a shift. Their season was done. You see how elated they were after the last game. I'd be surprised if they turn up. But look, we just got to do our job today, Dark Soul G. Big yourself up, brother. Craig Bowler says, all the housework nearly done, and then I'm ready to celebrate Champions League for the rest of the day. Come on, you Spurs. I love that, my man. Anthony Gray's in the house. Big up, Anthony. Hope you're keeping well, brother. We've got Roberto Villegas. Says a strange game day here in the US since NBC has the rights. All games are on every NBC-owned channel. And Spurs are broadcasting on Sci-Fi. Is it weird I've been hearing Sci-Fi TV teams? Come on, you Spurs. It is weird, my man. It is weird. Big up. But yeah, it is it's being streamed over in America. You're lucky over there. Dark Zone G says, who would you want to get 7th, Man U or West Ham? We'll go around the panel and just get a quick answer for everybody. I would go Man U. I absolutely hate West Ham. They tried to cancel culture me, but I'm still here. So, you know, it didn't work. I absolutely hate them. And so I want Man United. Brady?
Yeah, well, 7th would put the team into the conference, I believe. So that the case of West Ham in the conference. That's what they deserve. That's their level. In fact, they're even kicking above their weight, punching above their weight, getting into that far, you know, because they're such a good team, you know.
I love it. I love it. Kuva?
Does 8th get anything at all European-wise this season?
I think so, no.
I think so.
Oh, in that case, you've got to have Man United 7th because West Ham stopped them.
Man U will get 6th.
Man U will get,
Interesting. Brian, who do you want 7th? Who do you want to get 7th?
So, their greatest season ever, apparently. Bringing out a DVD of their greatest season. Beat us in the league, saying that they won't finish above us. Starting that Tottenham get battered. Getting to a semi-final and still finishing below us. And we're in the Champions League. They deserve, and what they did with you, they deserve everything they get. I despise them anyway. So Manchester United to get 6th and them get 7th. And what the best season of their career. And they've gone from the Europa League to the Conference League. Crack on.
Yeah.
Big up, Dark Soul G. What I should really do is put my face on the front of the Catch Me If You Can DVD cover and just send it to West Ham fans. That's what I should really do.
No, David, trust me. As you know, I'll probably have a few photos to send you later on today. So keep an eye.
I definitely look forward to it. Chris says, I watched Best of Any Expressions made me die with the impression of Robbie. Yeah, it was good, my man. It was good. Big up, Chris. Ralph Bryce is in the house. One last push. Let's do this, lads. Big up, my man. Carol Higgins says, big love to the Tottenham Armies on this day of reckoning. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, my man. Daniel Anderson, Weatherall. Come on, you Spurs. Good to see you in the building. Jiu-Jitsu Boy 69. I don't know. Maybe he's getting an inspiration from Kuva here. He says, any win will do, but a Son hat-trick would be the icing on the cake. Big up, my man. Hope you got permission off Kuva to use numbers in your name, though, lad. Big yourself up. Got Lee from the lane says, what's up, guys? Big up, Lee. I hope you're keeping well. You cracked me up last night, my man. NJ123 says, big up, guys. Hope you're all well. Can't wait for this afternoon. Come on, you Spurs. Champions League is waiting. That it definitely is, my man. Levi Tucker says, come on, you Spurs. I'm nervous, even though there really isn't any reason to be. Exactly, my man. There is no reason to be. Emily says, big up, Sean. Big up, Emily. Hope you're keeping well.
We've got Love you, Emily.
88-7 Gaming says.
Sorry, Dave. Sorry, mate. Sorry,
no, it's fine. You can have it. It pisses me off from time to time. So you can have it. 88-7 Gaming says, Philip and Sean and Cuba. LA. Come on, you Spurs. Paddy Higgins is absolutely loving it as well. Go on, lad. LA. Love it. Derek Hutchins in the building. Big up all of you guys. Norwich 1, Spurs 4. Come on, you Spurs. I love it. A lot of people loving this, the kickoff to the show, Shawnee. Calling you a rock star and everything. Big up, Born to Lose. Good to see you. Wayne Bonner's in the building. My man, I hope you're keeping well. Afternoon, gents. How is everyone? 4 places ours, just like North London. Woolwich can rot in the Europa League. Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. I mean, watching them travel out to, Azerbaijan and, Montenegro and places like that. It's going to be an expensive out season for them next season with very little reward, Wayne. So it's absolutely brilliant. Big up, Wayne. And I hope you're keeping well, buddy. We've got Salker 123. Good to see you in the building. Moondog. Big up, Moondog. Hopefully Dyer gets a goal for you today. Let me know if you've got your bet on. He says, love it, Sean. That has got me right in the mood. I have just upped my Dyer bet. Come on, you Spurs. Shout out to Moondog.
You know what? I'm going to join him. I'm going to get my Betfair account up. I've actually got a couple of tasty ones to call out later on at the end of the show if you want, Dave. But
yeah.
We've got to gamble responsibly, but I'm going to join Moondog on this one today, even though I don't think he'll score. I'm not sure if Moondog's bet is that Dyer has to score first or just has to score, but
yeah,
I don't know if he'll score first, but I'm going to join him anyway, just to be in the good spirit,
I love it.
I've got money on Sanchez bagging one.
Yeah, interesting. Nice.
Not a bad bet. Sean, get the prices on it. Get the prices on it for later on. Big up, Moondog. Big up, my man. We'll take a few more and then we'll crack into it. Andrew Bailey says, come on, you Spurs. Can't believe it's last game of the season, but let's end with a win and the Champions League. I know, my man, last game. It is sad. El Jeff, watching Tottenham on a Wednesday night. Absolutely love it. I'll be singing that later on, my man. Chris Agenbar, big up, my man. Hope you're keeping well. We've got Dark Sun G says, even though I thought we would get top 4, it's like a dream. I mean, how did we go from -7 goal difference to plus 24? Also, how did we start from Nuno and go to God Conte? I mean, we'll start with you, Philip, on this. What would you say to Dark Sun G?
Yeah, I mean, 31st of October, I think was we lost to Man United 3-0. I think at that stage, if someone that said Spurs are going to finish in the top 4, you'd be calling the men in white coats to take them away, It's just like a dream. I mean, Conte has come in there and he's worked miracles. And that's why it's so important. Keep that man happy, keep him at our ground and keep him improving this team, because next season we are going to go places.
Yeah, 100%. I can feel it. I definitely think so. Dark Zone G, we will be touching on Conte in a minute. In a minute, my man. Look, he's done an incredible job, and we should all be proud of the team. We're very lucky to be in this situation going in to the last game of the season. Dark Zone G. I mean, the goal difference has worked out massively in our favour. Something you've been on about for a long time, even since back, I think, October, November, you were talking about goal difference. You thought maybe qualification would come down to it. So big yourself up, Dark Sun G. We'll just take a couple more and then we will crack on. Tiger Boys in the house, good to see you. Mark Burke as well. Jeffrey, good to see you, my man. Levi Tucker. R Green 216 says, big day today. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, my man. Hope you're keeping well. We've got Uchechi and Duque. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you in the house. We've got Vanilla. We've got Matt. We've got Adrian. Big up, my man. I hope you're keeping well. Ellie's in the building. Yes, Ellie. Big yourself up. Good to see you in the house. Big up all you lovely lads.
She's on her way to the game. She should be at the game this afternoon. She's got tickets. She's going with her family to Carrow Road. Amazing. No way. Amazing. No way. Yeah. All of her family, like her brother, cousins, like there's like six of them, I think, going. Wow. It's insane. Yeah, so jealous. Enjoy it, Ellie. Yeah. Enjoy it. Massive occasion.
Hope you, Tio, and the rest of the family, I hope you all enjoy the day. You deserve it. Big up, Ellie. Good to see you. You got Kevin Wood, Joseph Tyler. We've got Rooty too. Big yourself up, my man. Hope you're keeping well. Marlon Green's in the building. Good to see you, Marlon. I hope you're keeping well, buddy. And we've got Ben Kaufman. Big up, lads. Can you smell what the cow is cooking? No, it's brewing. How dare I?
Oh, you ruined it. Do it again.
Can you smell what the cow is brewing? Big up, Benji. Hope you're keeping well, my man. And we've also got Pottermac in the building, 164 Spurs. Not even going to pronounce that, but big yourself up. Tony Young, good to see you. Same as you, Paul Brown. Same as 24C. Good to see everybody. Just going to give everybody a quick lowdown on everything you need to know. Of course, we are away at Carroll Road. Kickoff is at 4 p.m. today. Referee is Chris Kavanagh. And in the VAR room, it's Andy Madley. It's not on live in the UK or Ireland, but it's on the Zone in Canada and CNBC in the USA. And guys, make sure you're all back here for the watch along starting at 3:45 today. It's going to be an absolute whopper. Team news, Matt Doherty is out. Ollie Skip is out. Jaffa Hanganga, Reglan Romero, of course, all out. Harry Kane, they did come out last night that he will be fit for today's game. Norwich are missing Amabama Deli, the Irish kid, same as Adam Ida, another Irish kid. Kenny McLean, Josh Sargent, Zimmerman, Kabak, and Billy Gilmore. But look, there you have it, guys. There's all the team news and everything everybody needs to know. And we'll start with Brady and we'll work our way around, my man. But Brady, Spurs look dead and buried and resigned to another disappointing year. But somehow we are returning to Champions League football for the first time in a few seasons. Considering where the club was 6 months ago, how big of an accomplishment is it to finish inside Champions League qualification?
Yeah, like I said the other night, if it, obviously the manager of the month, the year is going to go to the top two, one of the top two. But I personally think Conte has earned the title for the best of the rest, if you like. I mean, he's come into a club which was on its knees, but the players weren't performing for the manager. The previous manager had sucked the life out of the club, it seems. No one was playing for him. He came in and do what he's done in a short space of time, less than 6 months, so just around 6 months. It's phenomenal. But then again, we should have expected it because this guy is a winner. Wherever he goes, he does the job. He succeeds. He brings. Look where I think when he went to Chelsea, they finished 10th of the previous season, and they won the league.
Yeah.
So transfer that into what we're going to do next year.
100%.
He's done an amazing job. I mean, and the players have to stand up. And players that were vilified by us up to November, we're now praising them, and that is a huge thing. The players that they've bought into the concept and they have given their everything. Okay, there's been blips, there's been Burnley away, there's been Wolves at home and Brighton at home, things like that. But overall, to turn our goal difference round from +7 to the -7 to +24, a swing of 31 goals. That's absolutely incredible.
Yeah,
and. Let's hope that they go out on a high this afternoon and get the Champions League that they deserve. And the fact that we're getting in there ahead of Arsenal makes it doubly sweet. It really does.
No, it does. It does. 100% it does. The fact that it's at their expense, I mean, it just makes it even more of an accomplishment. You're 100% right, Brady. I mean, Google said to you, how much do you give this? The team praise. How much of an achievement is it really to qualify for Champions League? Are we the beneficiary of Arsenal United throwing it away, or do we deserve it?
Oh, we deserve it. Win today, we deserve it, no matter what. As a stat I picked out yesterday, the first 10 games with Nuno in charge, 5 wins, 5 losses. We averaged 1.5 points a game. Since Conte came in, he has a reputation of winning 2 points a game. After today, we'll have played 28 games under Conte, and if we win, we've got 56 points, exactly 2 points a game. For him to come in and maintain this fantastic points average with the squad we've got, with minimal in squad changes, we only had 2 more players coming in. For him to turn all of that around and get us playing the sort of football we enjoy a lot more, because under Nuno it was dire. It was some of the worst football I've ever seen from a Spurs team. For it all to turn around and players playing out their skin, the likes of Ben Davies and Dyer looking solid at the back, and just the improvements all round. It's a phenomenal achievement. Now, you have to look back in time when Wenger used to say top four is like a trophy. And we used to ridicule him for that. And we quite rightly, because it was ridiculous. Because it was the same clubs making top four all the time back then. Funny enough, now it's become more true. Because now you've got so many clubs pushing for those top four places. Because if we get four, that's Arsenal and Man United missing out. Two of the regulars used to be in there. You're going to have Newcastle coming up into the fold as well, with all their mega bucks. There's the likes of West Ham. Well, not West Ham. Let's be they're going to do their usual and pretend that they're pushing for top four. By the way, not stat there. West Ham in their history, their greatest ever top flight finish is only third. So for them to think they're getting top four each time, they've got to nearly match their greatest ever season of all time. And that was back in the 80s when they had the likes of Frank McAvenny and Tony Cottee and a young Paul Ince back then as well.
And they're never going to have as good a season as they had this season. They're going to lose Declan Rice. They're going to misspend the money they get for him. Then they're going to lose Souček. You know, like all of the kind of stars aligned for them this season with some good purchases. But their scouting department is worse than Tottenham. So it's
a few seasons back as well when they had Payet. He was a great player, but wanted to go after a season, didn't he? And then they just fell apart and went from pushing for Europe to relegation candidates again. Can't wait for them to be back down there where they belong.
Yeah.
So, we've had a great season. West Ham have had a fluke season, and they'll be back to normal. And let's see if we can cement our place for next season, because the competition's becoming really fierce now. And like I said, it's funny that Wenger's quote is actually coming true now, but just not when he said it.
I love it. 100%, my man. 100%. Shawty, have you anything different to add to what the two boys said, or do you want me to ask you something a bit different?
You can ask me something different if you want.
Okay.
Mix it
there
up.
you go. Close your ears. Put your fingers in your ears.
No.
Sean, does Daniel Levy deserve any credit for the turnaround of fortunes this season, pulling the plug on Nuno after our Sacco and signing up Conte?
Look, you know how I feel about the man. Nobody's perfect, and it takes extreme circumstances to get extreme measures sometimes. And look, I don't for a second give him as much credit as he would otherwise have got had he got Conte in the summer. He did what he did because of the public pressure that people like Brian and his crew exerted, right? And I hope you feel like I'm a pragmatic guy when it comes to Daniel Levy. Like, credit where it's due, criticism where it's due. He got Conte in. After then, over to Conte. Daniel Levy then has got nothing to do with Tottenham's fortunes this season until January, when Paratici came in, and then Daniel Levy, I think, let go of the reins of control. And again, credit for Daniel Levy for doing that, because it takes he's a proud guy. He thinks he's better than he is at the negotiation stuff. I've never said he's a good negotiator, but Daniel Levy does deserve credit for changing the habit of a lifetime, which isn't easy to do. Like, we all have bad habits. We all are stubborn people in life, and he's definitely stubborn. And so credit to him for recognizing the weight of public pressure, for recognizing the momentum and which way the wind was which way the direction of the wind was blowing, and finally putting a sail in the right way and flying with the wind, not against it. So yes, he deserves some credit, but I'm not someone that ever wants to criticize him too much for the shit that happens on the pitch. I'm also not someone that wants to give him too much credit for the things that happen on the pitch. I give 90% of the credit to Conte and his coaching team for raising the standard and finding a way to get the best out of players that have been a 6, 7 out of 10 and turning them into 8.5s for their own level. I'm not giving Daniel Levy any credit for Conte's fitness regime, for his dietary restrictions, for his requirements to go to the gym, all those things that, Dave, you were telling me about the other day, that under Mourinho and Nuno, it was optional to go to the gym, but under Conte, it's a requirement. Levy gets none of that, right? But you know what, though? I also want to take this moment to be a little bit humble with myself and say, I've criticised Conte along the way, massively. Like, I still don't like his PR stuff, but sometimes you got to hold your hands up and go, by hook or by crook, Conte's done. He's got it done. If we get the job done, when we get the job done today, he's got it done. And so from now on, I'm probably going to be less likely to sit there and moan about, Conte having a whinge when we lose a game, because his methods clearly have worked. So I'm going off on a rant here, but essentially, do I give Daniel Levy credit? Yes, but only because of people like Brian, right? And him make it. But he's come to a realization that it's time to change, and hopefully, I think now he's changing for the better. You're smiling. I'm not sure why you're smiling.
I'm just smiling. A, because I'm happy Tottenham will get Champions League. But B, because I knew when Brian Dacre rang me asking can he come on, I had that question in the background, and I was hesitant to say no.
Fair enough. Yeah. I think the answer doesn't. I'm sure the answer will probably, hopefully, please Brian. Right? It's not. I'm not giving Levy unnecessary credit. But like I said, I don't want to unnecessarily criticize him when we lose a game. If we lose today and it goes tits up, God forbid, it won't happen. But if it does, I'll be really frustrated if people come out and throw knives at Daniel Levy again. Yeah. Like, we've got to this point. It's not Daniel Levy that's going to decide the result today. So you've got to have, I think, a reasonable cap on and say it's over to the players and the people who could directly impact the result. And and that's not Daniel Levy.
So, David, basically, you got Sean and Brian on last game of the season. You thought you'd just stir it up a little bit. You're a bad man. You're a bad man, David.
Do you know what is cool, man? I like to talk a bit about everything to do with Tottenham. A bit about everything. And, I just thought, look, I'd throw him on the final day and see what people's thoughts were. So, Brian, Brian, where do you stand in the whole team? Do you want to answer about Daniel Levy, or would you prefer to answer, how much of an achievement is it to get top four?
Well, what could I possibly think that I'd want to talk about? I think I know what I'm talking about. All I will say is, Sean, you're going to be very, very frustrated of me if we lose them, if it goes tits up, and I'll explain I'll explain the reason why. First of all, as I say, me and Sean, we do go back and forth on these things, but 99.9999999% we agree on. And
on everything that's apart from Daniel Levy. Yeah.
From what started off as like butting heads and banter and me smashing my head against I remember that. What's it called?
That was a Christmas cricket bat round the head.
Literally, mate, the headache I had after that.
No, what was it? It was like
a placemat.
A placemat, yeah.
A proper solid placemat. I think I gave myself a concussion. But yeah, so listen.
That was fun.
All I will say about it when it comes to Levy is if you'd done it at the beginning of the season when we went from the first time, we wouldn't be having this discussion. It'd be, we're in the Champions League. Let's sit back, relax a lot more than we can today. We're 99.9% of the way there, but it would have been a done deal. It would have been a lot more easier done. As Sean rightly said, and you know what? We did have an influence. There's loads of people that are either Levy in or Levy on the fence that were like, oh, you didn't do nothing. It was because this was going to happen. No. The day that happened and the first time serious pressure was put on that man, he was like, oh, I don't like this. They're picking on me. They've taken my lunch money. And he acted. And so did Paratici. I agree with everything Sean said from when he came in. When he came in, Levy's got fuck all to do with it. Like he said, dietary, fitness, mental, all that is all down to Conte. And he deserves a lot of praise. I mean, I had pop shots at Conte when he wouldn't change from the 3-4-3. I was like, we haven't got the players that got the mentality to play his football. He needs to adapt, but he stuck with it. I mean, who am I to doubt this man? Yeah. The only reason I will blame Levy if this goes tits up, and it's not wholly his fault, and I say it all the time. I say every single time when people go, oh, but Levy doesn't have an impact on the game. And I was like, I say this every time. I said, once those players cross the white line, the performance and the result has absolutely nothing to do with him. Absolutely nothing. But the very fact they're allowed to walk on the pitch and put on the shirt and put in those performances has everything to do with him. Now, right now, we were talking at the beginning or a couple of days ago that there might have been a huge bug that swept the team and all that. If that had happened, if it had, and we did not have the strength in depth to say, okay, you're right, you're ill. Okay, we plop this one in, plop that one in, plop. that's down to him. But listen, the main thing to talk about today, because I can't go too in on that man until after the final whistle, because I have a deal with Paddy Hartnett, so I've got to be careful. It looks like
will you still go in on if we qualify? Will you still go in on him just because your embargo is over?
Yep, straight away, mate. Put it away. Back Conte, change it straight away. Listen, and I'm sure David will talk to you, but I've only got till 8:15 to have to go to Scotland Yard. We'll see what happens with the transfers. We'll see immediately what's happening. So if things don't happen, and like I've said to you before, Sean, and everyone, Champions League is a huge success for us. We've got to act on it properly because we have the managers to do it now. And also, Daniel Levy's going to have a hell of a lot of transfer windows where we have success before I even contemplate switching. And I've said minimum 5 years. So yes, I will be going in on him as soon as the final whistle goes. Or not going in on him. It will change from back Conte to that. I'm just doing that at the moment. The finger exercises will be back at full time.
Well, there you are, guys. Hopefully a good discussion. Hopefully you find it a fair discussion about the team and Daniel Levy being brought into it. Just take a couple of super chats. And then, guys, I want to have a conversation on Antonio Conte. Dark Zone G21 says 4 equals top players wanted to come to us. Look, I think they will want to come. I don't think it'll change our targets in too much, but I do think you have a better chance of getting maybe some more of the elite players to come to Tottenham now that we're in the Champions League, especially with Conte, especially with the stadium and the training complex as well, Dark Zone G. So, but look, like everybody's saying, this summer it's over to Daniel Levy. Show us your ambition. Leo Koy's 1882 says, "What's up, my homies? 5 a.m. here, rolling out of bed, listening to you guys. Much love from Denver, Colorado, and Colorado Spurs. Big up to you lot." But man, it's so early. What are you doing up so early, Huff? I'd like to feel like you got up just that early just to come and watch us, but I don't think that's the case, my man. But big yourself up. Big up Denver. Big up all the Colorado Spurs. Hopefully you just fucking enjoy the game today and we get the result. You'll be bouncing around with a few drinks in you after, my man. Big up, Leo. Good to see you, brother. We've got Adrian Chia. Big up, lads. Any concerns about the flu bug? No concerns whatsoever. Philip, I know you have a lot to say on this. Do you want to answer, Adrian?
The flu bug. Well, is it a flu bug or is it a food bug? It's the press have kind of made. Yeah. The press have tried to make a lasagna gate out of it, but they failed miserably because there's no evidence to show that that's as bad as it is. So no, I mean, if Harry Kane trained yesterday, I think that's good news. If there was anyone else involved, I think it would have leaked out some way or other. Somebody would have had something about it. So, no, I'd be quite happy now that there's a full squad, apart from the injuries that are out already. There'll be a full team available for selection today. But let's face it, the team pretty much selects itself anyway.
Yeah.
Providing they're all fit.
Yeah, look, it does. I think the only contention would be Kulu Lucas. And we'll touch on that shortly. But no concerns whatsoever, Adrian. I mean, look, as soon as something like that happened, it's just a continuation of the one that was affecting the players of North London Derby and Burnley game. I wouldn't be worried too much about it. It's just the news trying to make another scenario to try and put doubt in Tottenham fans and the Tottenham players' head. That's all it is, Adrian. Big yourself up, brother. Really appreciate support. William Kelly says, "Big up, boys. Let's get this done." Big up, William. I can't wait to get this job done, my man. Hopefully, Will Oracle, hopefully you're clairvoyant. Hopefully she's wrong, my man. Hopefully she's wrong. I really want her to be wrong. I want Champions League, my man. Big up to Will Oracle. Good to see you, brother. Buzzsport TV says, "Great to see a sensible show." Big up, beautiful. I have to say, Bob, though, I did have good crack in the comments. Had a good laugh. Yeah, it's a good show.
It was a fun show last night, Bob Spur.
Not even going to too much on it. It went to levels. It went to levels. Big up, Bob. And Sean, your best friends in the house. Carter, THFC, Brian, close your ears. He says, "Can't believe I'm sitting here on Sunday listening to Don Levy slander." Shame. Sean, what do you want to say to Carter? He's your best friend.
I love you, man. I love you. First of all, thank you for all the support last night, bro. Insane. And look, me and you were cut from the same cloth on this one. Like, I love Brian. I love Brian to pieces. It is disappointing though that to hear from Brian. I'll be honest, Brian. It's disappointing to hear that, regardless of what happens, you've simply just been biting your tongue because of a bet or an agreement with Paddy Hartnett. And I feel like if you finish top 4, then it is over to Levy. So he's got no excuses, right? Like I've said it before, inflation is a nightmare for everybody, every man alive, man, woman, and child alive. Inflation is ruining our ability to, have a decent standard of living. But if you're a business owner that's got 750 million quid of debt at 3% interest, then a 10% inflation rate is a dream come true. And he's not affected personally by inflation. He's got more money. So there is literally no excuse, no reason for him now to not back Conte, and it's over to him. But I feel like that, Brian, you should at least give the guy enough room, enough rope to hang himself with. I don't think you should turn the candles back on as soon as you can, just because Paddy Hart and you have finished your embargo.
Sure enough, I've done this for 14 years. For 14 years. So I'm not going to say all of a sudden when we got top 4 5 years in a row and we did or 4 years in a row, we did exactly the same thing. I'm not going to go, this time he's going to change because this time it's.
I'm not asking you to say well done, Daniel. All I'm asking you, all I was hoping for is like, let's at least give him the summer to figure it out before the fingers start.
Nope. Mate, why? We've said this when we got top 4 before. We've said this every single time. Every single time we've said this, and every single time,
every single time he has invested, apart from 3 transfer windows. And then he's invested badly, but that's not his fault.
Hasn't listened to people like Paul Mitchell, has listened to people. We're not getting into this right now.
Continue this debate. We'll have this in the summer. Brian v. Daigle.
Brian v. Daigle. I win that one.
Daigle v. Sean. Daigle v. Sean. We'll have it this summer. But big up, Carter.
Big up, Carter. Brian, I love you, mate. I love you, bro.
Big up, Carter.
Big up, Carter. Big up, Carter.
Can I just point out that Brian, when you're doing that fake excitement bit, that would make the creepiest children's TV presenter ever. There's something very sinister about it.
I just want to say, guys, over 400 people in house right now. Keep smashing that like button. Only 100 likes. I mean, I'm a bit disappointed, guys. I know it's early. I know some of you may not even be able to see the like button right now, but find it, smash it. But look, I do want to talk about Don Conte. Conte got off to a good start, going 9 unbeaten, rising from 9th to 6th in the Premier League. We then lost 3 games on the bounce and 4 in 5 in January and February. A 1-0 defeat by Burnley towards the end of February left Tottenham 7 points off of top 4, leading to Conte casting doubt over his future. Only Liverpool have collected more points since the start of March. We have lost just 2 of our last 12 in the league. We have turned up in big games, holding Liverpool to a 1-1 draw at Anfield and beaten Arsenal as well, 3-0 at home. How good of a job has Conte done? Has he exceeded expectations this season? Not only with results on the pitch, but more or less working with what he has got and developing players and making them better. I'm going to start with you, Philip.
Well, for a guy that had no pre-season, like you always hear these things, if a manager gets a good pre-season with a team, it sets them up for the season. Conte came into a veritable shit show in November. You know, he came into a bomb crater, basically, from the damage that Nuno had done to the club. And like we all know how good this guy has been with his previous clubs, but I think, and we all hoped that he would be able to turn the season around. And while the more optimistic of us were hopefully get top 4, I think even the most optimistic of us are still a bit scratching our heads a wee bit. How the hell did he manage it? You know, seeing at the starting position that he came from. I mean, I'll tell you, he's a guy that doesn't suffer fools gladly. And I think he's a perfect foil for Daniel Levy. Daniel Levy might have been able to browbeat and bully the other managers into his way of thinking, but Conte has let him know, you do it my way or it's the highway for me. And that's a sword that's hanging over Daniel Levy's. He can't afford to lose Conte now. And Conte knows that. So I think Conte is going to be backed in the summer. He's going to have a full pre-season. The fact that there's no World Cup in the summer now is good for us because at least the players can go off now, have a proper holiday, come back refreshed, come back with new players in the squad, old players that we don't want there, happily gone somewhere else, hopefully. And Conte will work. He will, if he can do what he's done in 6 months of a fractious season, what is he going to do when he gets a full pre-season with players that he wants in the squad and no deadwood? So I think the future is so bright for Spurs at the moment,
Yeah.
and that Conte is the man to bring us forward. But I do wish, I take Sean's point there. Some of his utterances at press conferences do worry me a bit. Now maybe it's the lost in translation, because let's face it, his English is good, but it's not great. And sometimes he says things that can be misinterpreted. So what I would like him to do is cut out the sowing seeds of doubt about his future. As far as he should be telling us, his future is at Spurs until it's not.
100%.
And let's hope that's a good few years down the road.
I love that, Phil. I was saying this the other day because there is this media bias, right? Like Simon Jordan on TalkSport, who's no fan of Tottenham's, he turned around and said there is a media bias against Tottenham. Every time Tottenham gets somewhere, the media want to invoke this. Oh, it's just a matter of time until Tottenham Spurs it up, all that nonsense. He says there is this, and that's quite refreshing to hear that from a guy who doesn't like Tottenham. But if you're going to have this, us against the world narrative, then you need to have a unified, like everyone needs to be as unified as possible, especially within the team. And it really should start with a Conte, the manager, who's like, no, I'm 100% committed to this team. And that invokes confidence, it invokes a unified team spirit, and then that can penetrate and filter through to the fans. And over time, hopefully, like I say, I agree with you 100%, Phil, that it's exciting times at Tottenham right now. But I think you nailed it. It would be great. The only thing I'd like to see from Conte is even if he does have a seed of doubt in his own mind, stop talking about it publicly.
Yeah, 100%. Kuva, what's your feelings on Conte this season and the job he's done, my man?
Well, he's just been outstanding, hasn't he? When Nuno left, we were at this point where utterly directionless. We looked incapable of doing anything in the season. And I remember myself and several other people were having the attitude of the season's over. What's the point? We've just got nothing. It's going to be another 100 days before we get another manager and things like that. Then all of a sudden, Conte coming in. What the hell is going on here? Is this real? And he's come in. It's very difficult start because, as Philip quite rightly points out, no pre-season. That is a huge thing, especially for Conte. He's always made a big point of this. He wants all the transfers done early, so he gets the full pre-season with the players. They're all ready. They're prepped. Everybody knows their roles, what's going to go on throughout the season. It's all in place, and there's this control. Control is the main point with Conte on everything. He wants these games where you're winning it 2-0, 3-0. There's no problem. You just see out the game. No problem at all for the team. Without that pre-season, he just came in and, as we know, it was a shit show at the time. It's been a very hard start, and he's turned us around. And as I said, the fact that if we win today, he ends up averaging 2 points a game with this team he's taken over, this directionless mess of a team that we had. That is a remarkable achievement in my book. It just makes me think, what are we going to have next season? We're starting to dream, and I mean really dream about trophies for next season.
I think that might just be the drink you had last night, Kuva.
maybe, but I was enjoying it.
Are you topping up? Are you topping up this morning with me, Kuva?
I've had a little bit of hair of the dog. I must
nice.
Good
boy.
Yes,
good boy.
It's working a little bit. So I think you've got to look ahead now. Conte's done even if we, God forbid, we were to mess up in this last game. If something, crazy happened, like we got mass injuries on the game, you never know what's going to happen in 90 minutes. We might have like half the defense suddenly missing, and we're finishing with 8 players or something. If something crazy like that does happen, it still doesn't change the direction we're headed with Conte. All that it would basically affect is, of course, it'll be a huge deflation for us as fans, but we're still heading the right way, and the man's still driving us forward. So it's more about the money, because we know, top 4, despite saying about quoting Wenger about the top 4's a trophy, but obviously it isn't. It's just that money thing. It's the money, it's the prestige that goes with it being in the Champions League. But even without that, Conte is driving us forward, and he's just he's just reinvigorated the club with just a completely different animal to when he took over. Instead of this hopeless team that anybody can beat. I mean, come on, going to Palace and getting beaten 3-0.
That was
Jesus Christ. 3-0 at home to United. Jesus.
Best result of the season, though, right?
Yeah.
It was hard to take, though, wasn't it?
It was horrible at the time, but it turned out to be like, one of those, like what's it, we call it, a poison pill?
Yeah, I suppose you could also say that about the Mura game as well, because you saw then that we do not have squad depth. It sort of reaffirmed.
I think that wasn't about squad. I personally, that was just about like idiot players who thought they were too good to be playing in Slovenia on a Thursday night. Thought they were above it. Like, I don't care. We could have put out the under-23 team, and they should have been able to beat Mura. It's not. It wasn't so much about squad depth. It was about squad mentality, squad arrogance, and an entitlement that they didn't like. Because I think leaving the first team behind. Oh, was that the Mura game or was that a different game?
No, that was Vitesse, I think it was, and Winston Davies came out crying after.
Yeah, I mean, I don't personally like that idea because it does definitely create a division in the squad. We got the first team, and then we got everybody else, and everybody else can handle this one because that's So I didn't like that. But that was a Nuno decision, I know. But but I think the Mura result, which was the biggest stain on Tottenham's recent European, or probably ever, worst result ever. That was under Conte, but that wasn't. I think that was just the arrogance of certain people within the squad, and I think over time, Conte's seems to have convinced these people now, or at least the majority of them that are still around, to respect the opposition and to fight for your place. And
100%.
You could argue though that that's still squad depth, because if you got the time. Players like that, they're the wrong players. So
true.
The old lad says, "What's the story?" The old lad says, "Morning lads, let's get this over with. I'm making myself sick taking the piss out of Gooner fans. I can't take anymore." No, look, why not give yourself a hard on as well and just keep doing it right up until kick-off. Big up the old lad. Hope you're keeping
that's
well.
weird. Talking to your dad about Haaland. I know.
Crack open the cans of Guinness, my man, and enjoy the day. Big up that. I hope you're keeping well. But look, Conte's definitely brought the team, the fans, and the players all together. Now it's time for Daniel Levy to bring himself on that train, over the summer if he can get the right signings in here. But Brian,
yes, sir.
What's your thoughts on the job that Antonio Conte has done, lad?
So do you know what? When I think back on things, everyone knows my love affair with Paul Gascoigne, and I can remember in his game against Manchester City after the World Cup, his first game, he scored a goal, and Martin Tyler actually said the commentary, he's turned their dreams into reality. And that's exactly what Conte has done. That's exactly what Antonio Conte has done, because it took me a long time to say, I think top four is the goer. And I had great fun watching the Football Terrace thing this morning with a gal saying, "Tottenham fans, where are you? Come outside."
Yeah.
So I've just tweeted him saying, "Hey, gal, as a Spurs fan, I'm outside and it's glorious. Stay in the shade where you are." So yeah, listen, he's turned what we thought was, or a lot of people thought was just not. And if we all have our Tottenham Hotspur hats off, if you look at the stats, 20th in running in all teams. Times with no shots on target in entire games, let alone a half. Players that weren't pulling their weight. And if you had said we'd be in this position now, without being the very, very optimist, you'd be like, that's crazy.
Are we still up there, Brian? Are we still first in?
All I can tell you is we're certainly not 20th. Certainly too. That's what we're certainly good. If we're not first, mate, we're certainly in the top half or top five.
Top. Yeah. That was the biggest difference, wasn't it?
Mate, it's huge. And this is like what we said again with getting these players in for pre-season. Do you remember how important it used to be for Poch? Because you've got to get these players up to speed. Because if they come in late, to try and get up to the speed of the other players that have been there. But getting back to Conte, what he's done, and do you know what? It's just I was saying on Straight Out Conte that I did with Brian. For once, you've got a manager, and if he says run through a brick wall, you actually believe you can. You're like, I'm going to run through this wall. I think I can get through it. The way he speaks to you, the way he has got the mentality, which is such a huge thing that we all talk about. He has got the players in the right position, and although we may not have thought top 4 was a possibility, and he may have said that I don't think it's a possibility, for Antonio Conte, this was always the objective, and he always would have believed it. And he's gone and done it. So he deserves, like I said, he's turned dreams into reality. That's what he's done.
Yeah. No, 100%. I could not agree more. Look, I think he's done an absolutely brilliant job. The job he's done is absolutely amazing. And look, it's getting exciting now to see how far he can take this next season. We have Jim Bird Coys. Big up, Jim Bird. I hope you're keeping well, brother. He says, another great show. Where are you all going to be watching from? I'm live in Norwich and should be heading down to the away pubs. Come on, you Spurs. Let's do this. Jim, you enjoy the game, my man. Well, I hope you're going for the game unless you're there for an out scrap. I'm not sure, Jimmy boy. But look, whatever you're there for, hopefully you do enjoy it, lad. Look, I think we will get the win. I think you'll have a good day out. Me, personally, I'm watching from the Republic of Ireland, County Kildare. I was going to ask Philip, but we'll go on to Coover now. Coover, where are you watching from, my man?
I'll be at home, just possibly seeing a couple of mates and watching a stream on the backyard in Steam Yard or something. But yeah, unfortunately can't get to the games nowadays, so TV it is, bit of streaming. Still going to enjoy it though.
100%, and it's not from the Brothels because he's banned. We learned that last night on Bob's Start TV. Philip, where are you watching the game from, my man?
Well, as I was saying to you earlier, I purchased one of them IPTV things yesterday, but I think they've been sold. This one doesn't work. I spent most of yesterday trying to get it up and running. I've followed the instructions to the letter, so I'm onto the company now to see can I get a refund or get them to do something about it. But hopefully I'll hear something before match time. That's the case. If I get up and running, I'll watch it on IPTV.
If you want something quick, you can reach out to Nick Collison, who. He can get it organised for you super quick, and it works absolutely perfectly. It's brilliant.
Right, he might do that. Yeah, I'll do the watch along anyway if I can't get it, you know.
Also, Phil, it's the greatest £60 a year I ever spend. The greatest £60 I ever spend for everything. I never miss.
Yeah, that's what I spent on this one, but there's something wrong with it. No, it'll probably come good, but it'll probably come good tomorrow morning, which will be too late, you know.
I love it. Sean, where are you watching from, my man?
Watching from my home, but I'm watching it on your channel, mate. With you, I'll be I'm doing the live stream watch along at 4 o'clock, 3:45. Can't wait, mate. Can't wait.
I can't wait either. Make sure you bring that guitar for after, Sean. Warm the vocals up.
I've also, by the way, I've got
keep your voice for later.
I have got 2 or 3. I've got the Benson core. Rodrigo Benson. Cool. I've got that song figured out on the guitar as well.
Get us live in Scotland Yard on the big screen after the game. We'll get Sean to entertain them all.
Mate. I'm upset. We'll be playing in Europe next season, and he's came with his mate from Sweden, Rodrigo Benson. Anytime you can get Oasis into a football chant, I am all fucking for it. It's wicked. And yeah, you've just said where I'll be watching it. I will be at the world famous home of Toronto Spurs, the Scotland Yard. We're having a huge thing today. There's raffles going on with Jimmy Greaves books, signed by the author. Kits for next season. We're buying everyone who's a member breakfast at the Yard. It's going to be a big day, and I've got to get down there. I've got to leave here in 15 minutes. Just go get down to start decorating. They're opening up at 9:30 in the morning for us.
Nice.
Wow, nice.
That's dedication.
Mate, they open at 7 a.m. for us as well. They didn't this season because of COVID and getting the staff trained up because it's all brand new staff. But as of next season, even for the World Cup at 5 a.m. because it'll be 5 a.m. kickoffs for us, and they're opening up at 5 a.m. for us.
Wow, big up the Scotland Yard. And everybody, let Jim know in the chat where you're watching from around the world. Big up, Jim, and go and enjoy the game, brother, and enjoy a few sneaky pints as well before it. Timman 007 says, we are going to smash Norwich today. No need to worry. Antonio will have this lot ready. If not, meet everyone at the airport. Come on, Jim, man, not even nervous. I'm calm, collected. I'll be honest with you, I expected it. Told everybody else to expect it as well. And look, Antonio Conte, he's not going to let this lot rock up out there and put in a crap performance against the bottom feeders of the Premier League, serial losers. Only won 5 games. It's not even in question. But I do have my flight booked just in case, my man, and I will see you at the airport. And we'll bring a football and we'll end up like something in Castaway. We'll have Wilson to talk to for the rest of our life. Big up Tim Man 007. Really appreciate the support, brother. Everybody else, get your support in for the channel, for everything we do here. Being here from the start all the way to the end of the season. Feel free to get your comments in a super chat. It is a great way to help. Look, Brian, I know you're leaving, so we'll get the next question to you and then revert it back to the Don Brady. But we start the day with a 2-point lead over Arsenal and +9 goal difference. We have +24. Arsenal have 15 after turning around a 4-point deficit within a week. And because of that, Tottenham heading into the final day of the Premier League season with our own destiny in our own hands. Knowing a result against Norwich, who are already relegated and rooted to the bottom of the Premier League, will secure us a place in next season's Champions League. It will be a momentous collapse, the biggest I think we've seen since the Berlin Wall came down in 1989, for us not to qualify for Champions League. As we know, there is a perception in Tottenham that we can always slip up, that we are bottlers, but surely, Brian, they can't let us down this time.
No, I mean, I'm going into this game super duper confident. And I don't know if that's a bad thing or me a stupid thing. But listen, I mean, there was obviously as well. What it put it into perspective as well when I saw a tweet that had absolutely, and I knew like win, we're through, draw, we're through. But when you saw Matty Hayes, love that man. But yeah. It's ridiculous. It's unquestionable. It's literally it's unthinkable. I just simply you just can't see it. You can't see it. But one thing I did say, I think we're going to win and win convincingly. But I wouldn't be surprised to see them score first. Just in typical fashion, I wouldn't be surprised that they come out and grab an early goal, and then it will just be like right, bang, snap on. But I think. I said on Bob Spurs' show yesterday as well that I think this week they may have done a hell of a lot. They may have done a hell of a lot on the training ground, but I think a lot of it this week would have been done like Jose we saw in the documentary, sitting in the room and just mentally, like it's blooming training for the army. Like, listen, mentally, this is what you're doing. You do not do this. You do not. And I think he would have drummed it into their head so hard that it's just unthinkable. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
No, I love it. This guy's watching from Paddy Power. Make sure you have yourself on a limit. You don't want to go home with no money, my man. You want to make sure you'll be able to get some food shopping. Philip, surely the bottler's reputation won't come into play today, my man.
Well, Norwich's record against top 4 clubs this season is played 9, lost 9. So that speaks volumes. And let's hope by the end of today, that's played 10, lost 10. Yeah, no, I mean, you've got to be confident. You know, there's always a little doubt in the back of your mind that something crazy is going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to score an own goal or in the first 10 minutes and Harry Kane gets injured in the bad tackle and everything just goes against us. But like all things being equal, Norwich are no equal to us. We should be steamrolling them. We should be winning 3-4-0 today. Yeah. And, you know, and really inflicting I know this is the last game at home for a while, and they'll be up to put on a show, but we're better than them, and we should just grind them, hopefully, into the ground. If Son gets boot, that'll be a huge plus.
Oh, we'll touch on Sonny in a minute. I do want to have a good conversation on Sonny. To be fair, he's been absolutely magnificent this season. But look, I'm like you and Daigle, Brady. I can't see us slipping up. I really can't. I think. Look, with the Butlers and the Spurs' reputation, look, it starts in the fan base. In my opinion, we've got to go in believing. I think that'll rub off on the team. But Kuba, not every Spurs fan is confident heading into today's game, as we do have that reputation of being Butlers and not being able to handle the pressure. But we are playing a team bottom of the league who has conceded the most goals in the league, 79. A Norwich side that have lost 11 of their last 14 league matches and have nothing left to play for but pride and the chance to leapfrog Watford and avoid finishing bottom for the second time in 3 seasons. Surely we could not have asked for a more favourable scenario.
Can I just add one more stat to that before Coover answers? Is Josh said it to me on Friday when I was speaking to Josh, the Tottenham guy. Norwich have actually won the same amount of Premier League games as Nuno did at Tottenham all season. And he left in October. and they've won the same amount of games as him all season. So it puts into context how bad they've been.
Yeah.
One more stat.
Nuno wasn't that bad, was he?
One more stat
Bring him
before
back.
Kuba answered. Cody Mack said last night on the show that if you were to deduct the entire amount of points that Norwich have got this season from Tottenham's points, we'd still be in the top half of the table. Such a wildly random stat. I love it. Sorry.
It is. Quite.
Anyway, yeah, of course I'm confident. I understand people being nervous, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know what can happen in a football game. But I always draw on my experience, my own playing days. I mean, I was only non-league, of course, but it's so much different. Watching a game, you're so nervous. But when you're actually playing it, it's different. You love it. You thrive on it. You're in control of your own destiny. And Conte's going to know this. The team's going to know this. We know we've got ourselves into this position, and just go out and then play there. We'll be prepared. We'll do a professional job. I'm looking at a confident 3-0 win, and Sonny bagging a couple, me getting a nice payday, and everybody happy, because that's what we're doing under Conte.
Yeah, if Sonny gets the golden boot, you might not see Coover for a few weeks. He's in for a nice payday. I'm not sure what he's going to do with the money, but he's in for a nice payday if that happens. Darks OG, if you're out there, my man, give me some stats. I know you always have some mad obscure stats. Get into that computer of yours and give us some stats. But say to you though, Sean, surely we couldn't have asked for a better situation. I mean, Norwich bottom of the league, just absolutely like serial losers.
Yeah. If you were to pick a team you want to play right now, the only better scenario would be if we were at home against Norwich, right? But we're not. But there's basically, this is the second best option. And look, guys, I'm not even entirely convinced that we even need to draw today, because I don't think that I genuinely think that Everton are just crumbling ever since the Tottenham game. Their heads are sunk. They're a young team. They haven't got a leader anywhere on the pitch. Their manager certainly isn't a leader of men. I don't know how they get up after the Tottenham embarrassment, after the Newcastle humiliation. I don't know how they get up for this game. I don't even expect Everton to really give a shit, but I think a non-giving a shit Everton is still going to be too much for Arsenal to be able to overcome. I just look at Arsenal right now and think, you were lucky. The 3 games when you beat Chelsea, when you beat United, when you beat, I forget who the third team was, West Ham, you were lucky in all those games that the other teams were just worse than you. West Ham actually were better than they were, but Chelsea United were just a shambles. So, you can kind of wipe those points off the table and kind of go, when was the last time Arsenal actually played well? And it was a long, long time ago. So I don't necessarily think that we have to look for a favour in any way, shape or means from Everton, but I just don't think that Everton are good. I don't think that Arsenal have got enough in their tank to be able to beat Everton. So I think that today is almost irrelevant. Not that that matters. Not that that matters at all, because we're still going to go and spank Norwich. I'm getting more confident now, mate. When we started the show, I was a little bit nervous, but now I've had a couple of ciders. I'm starting to settle those nerves and get a little bit cocky. I think that we're going to do it, and I think Sonny is going to get his golden boot, and I'll be going down to Dorset to find Kuba in the bottom of a gutter somewhere, and I'll join him.
Why not?
Why the gutter?
No, because you're going to be absolutely smashed out your skull, and I'll be like, give us some, Coof. Let's get involved, bro.
I love it. William Kelly says, time for a Winks masterclass to get us over the line. William, don't do this today. I beg you, Will Oracle, do not do this today, please.
Yeah, he's a wind-up merchant.
He's going to be doing it during the watch along as well. He will be doing it. I beg you, though, William. Look, Winks can't even lace up his own boots. Look, if I was Harry Kane, I'd be making him clean my boots when I'm finished the game. Winks doesn't even know what masterclass means, my man. To be honest with you, he's definitely not capable of producing it. But William Kelly, please, none of this today, my man. I beg you. I actually beg you, just for one day, please, William. Winks is absolutely useless. He's absolutely useless. He knows that we'll be watching it on a delay, so he knows that he can play with our emotions and say, "Oh, I'm watching it live, and Arsenal have just scored or whatever."
like he did
Even
with Sanchez.
if he comes on today for his last game in the Spurs jersey, I will not applaud him. I do not applaud or celebrate failure, and he will not be getting anything from me. But William Kelly, hopefully we don't see him today, because we know what happens when he plays. We just know, William. So Beat yourself up, brother. Carter, he's back. THFC says, I love the disgust I've seen in everyone's face when the fella said they might score first. Look, I don't see them scoring first. I'll be shocked if they do. And if they do, I mean, I might end the watch along early. I can't sit there and take that embarrassment, to be honest with you. But yeah, look, no one even wants to think about it, Carter. Nobody wants to think about Norwich scoring first, because you'll just see Spurs fans raging out everywhere. Like Tin Man said, we'll all be at the airport. Nobody will be watching the second half, my man. But big up, Carter. Big up, my man. Good to see you in the building. I hope you enjoyed that Levy debate. I know you're his biggest fan, my man. Big yourself up. Moondog says the scum are losing anyway. I put a bet on it.
Yeah. That's what I think. I don't know if they'll lose.
Do you not think everything would have been like this the last few days?
No, mate, listen, I'm going to say this and then I'm really going to have to go. So this will be, I really, really think, like Sean said, after our 3-0, they have just crumbled. And Everton, we all know the away fans are hardcore. Not saying that the home fans aren't, but the away fans that travel everywhere, they are going to be on party atmosphere in the libraries. So they'll be the ones that will be drowning everyone out. And the thing I'm looking forward to more than anything is after the game, I'm walking across to watch the Blue Jays in my first ever baseball game. But the first thing I want to do is I'm going to put the zone on and I am going to watch the Arsenal lap of appreciation. Just that's got to be. That's the thing I've been waiting for. The Arsenal lap of appreciation, where everyone there'll probably be a fire drill or something, or the Sunday roast that they need to get home to, or whatever. But they'll be doing that lovely lap of appreciation, and I'm really looking forward to that. I honestly think they are losing today. I honestly think Arsenal are losing, because listen, yes, they're safe, and it doesn't matter what the result is, but they're going to want to say, right, that was a close call. This is what you're going to expect from us. And I can just see them being in a complete party time. I mean, I don't know. I haven't looked at the Premier League. Can they actually go up any places today based on results, or is that?
I think they can go up a couple. I think
exactly in a couple of places.
It's worth a few million.
Exactly. So going up a few places, especially in their predicament, and you see that Leeds and Burnley are going to do the Sheffield United kind of launch an appeal against them getting relegated because of them with feet. So them getting up a couple. I honestly see an Everton win, and everyone after our game tune into that lap of appreciation. But listen, guys, it's been wicked chatting with you. It's been wicked speaking to everyone in chat. Sean, love you too, brother, big time. And everyone else, Kuva, Phil Brady, who was on my side of the pond for a little bit. I saw all your antics and your holiday, which was fantastic to see, mate. And David, love you to pieces, mate. I will try, if you send me the link and we're all done, I'll try and get on the pump up.
Yeah.
I'll try and get on again at the normal place in the library once we're all done. And that's not the Emirates. But yeah. I will see you all very soon. Love you all. David, quickly, a season of great content once again. It's a pleasure coming on your planet. Coming on your channel.
Planet Day.
I've given you a planet, mate. You're out of space.
Planet Hotspur.
That's
a good name. That's a good name for the channel.
Yeah.
It's a great name for the channel.
Everyone, enjoy the day, enjoy the moment, and I will just say what I'm going to say for the final time. So just annoy Sean because he's going to be disappointed. No, there's no fingers to this now. It's back. Conte.
I love it.
Nice.
Everybody, the description, the link for Daigle's channel is in this chat, guys. Everybody get over there and smash that subscribe. Daigle, thank you for your this season, my man. And Sean's channel is also in the link there as well, or in the description, guys. Click on that and get onto it. But Moondog, there you are. Daigle thinks it's going to happen. I'm a bit of the obvious. I think Everton were out celebrating. I think, I think Arsenal will get the result. But big up, Moondog. Really appreciate the support, brother. We've got Dark Sun G says, whenever Sun plays against Norwich, we are undefeated and we score +2 goals against them. Also, Sun loves scoring against teams in yellow uniforms. Well, look, I suppose No, we'll hold on to the Sun discussion because I do want to get onto it at the end. But he did score when we bet them 3-0 in December, back in December, my man. He scored the third, I believe. So, look, hopefully he can get a couple of goals there. I think every Spurs fan wants to see him take that golden boot. And look, undefeated, against Norwich when he plays and we scored +2 goals. That means, Dark Sun G, you're telling us we're going to hammer them today. Big yourself up, brother. Really appreciate the support, my man. Really appreciate it. And I really do hope Sonny gets it. I know you'll be absolutely bouncing around, brother. And he says, also, Gunnar's backline is completely gone. I think, well, actually, that is a good point, to be fair. That they don't really have a backline whatsoever, to be honest with you. So yeah, that is a good point. Maybe Everton can take it. I just feel Everton were on the piss. I just think they've been on the piss.
There was pictures of them having a beer in the dressing room after the game. Like, what are you doing?
Nah, look, they're
celebrating safety. Come on.
Yeah, like Roy Keane says, it's brilliant. You know what? They jump on. Remember he done it about Aston Villa. What they're jumping up and down about? They just bet relegation. You know, things you love to see. Big up, Dark Sun G. Absolutely love them stats, my man. If you have any more, let me know. I was going to ask you for ref stats, but Sean got there yesterday. So, give me some more stats, Dark Sun G. I absolutely love them, brother. And Dark Sun G, what time is it for you, my man, over there? You must be up mad late. Big up, Dark Sun G.
It's early, isn't it? It must be about 8 p.m., 9 p.m. So the game's probably maybe about midnight or something. Yeah.
Yeah, by the time kickoff, it's gonna be it's gonna be a late one or an early one for him. But big up, Dark Sun G. 2J says the irony that Dele Alli was the reason Everton won their last match, and now they aren't pressured to beat Arsenal, which ideally we wanted them to be. I mean, Kuva, what would you say to 2J?
Nice. It's funny, but things just work out like that sometimes. All the things I've been highly critical of Dele Alli over the last few years. His form's been shocking, but I think I actually do want him to sort of resurrect his career a bit. It's not nice seeing players just go down the pan, unless they're gooners, obviously, in which case it's hilarious. I think it's just coincidence, really. I don't think it's sort of any sort of thought of let's do Spurs over because he's bitter. I just don't see it that way. But makes you wonder though at times, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does. Look, I'll be honest. I was saying this to Kuva beforehand because we actually were talking a bit about this. Couldn't give a fuck what Dele Alli does now, to be honest with you. Pissed me off with his 3 years at Tottenham of doing nothing. At the end of the day, he gets paid to be a professional. He has all the best training facilities, dietitians, has all the access to the very best and isn't using it. Look, it would be nice if he turned up and scored today. I won't be complaining. If he scores today, I'll go back to being a fan of Dele Alli. How's that, 2J? How's that, my man? It would be nice to see him score today and, just run around with a big, lifting up the T-shirt. That's for you, Tottenham. That'd be absolutely brilliant.
Just imagine the drama, though, of we're being robbed of and we're losing because of like outrageous refereeing decisions and injuries and bad VAR decisions, things like that. And Arsenal are on the brink of overtaking us. And then Dele Alli pops up in the final minute of added time and scores an equaliser and robs them.
And then pulls his shirt off and it's got "Come on, you Spurs" written on the shirt. And he just
that'd be brilliant. That'd be brilliant. Big up 2J, brother. Really appreciate the support, my man. It's a massive help to everything we do here. Big yourself up, bro. And then William Kelly says, Will Oracle prediction incoming? Yeah, I don't want it. Keep it. Do not want the Will Oracle incoming prediction. If it's to do with Harry Winks, if it's to do with Sanchez, William, keep it to yourself, man. I know. I'm only messing, though. Do give it to me. It does entertain me, to be fair, but no more about Harry Winks. I can't take that. My heart can't take it. In fact, if I die talking about Harry Winks, I'm going to put you down. Actually, you probably get done for manslaughter, William Kelly, for putting in Harry Winks stuff. So, big yourself up, William. What time is it over there as well in Australia, my man? It must be late or early. Definitely not middle of the day anyway. But big up, Will Oracle. Big up, my man. But I don't want any more predictions about Harry Winks.
Wasn't the Oracle prediction that we were going to miss out on top four?
Yeah, by 1 point.
So that already predicts the scoreline today. Well, the result.
Don't do it. Don't join that site, Coover. Don't do it. Don't do it.
No, I don't believe in that stuff anyway.
I've done a good job of getting yourself and William Kelly, getting on the positive train. I've done a good job. There's no reason for you to hop off it. Big up Bob Spur. Another one trying to give me a heart attack. I don't even want to talk about that guy today. He's such an idiot. He's such a loser as well. But Philip, how important is it today that we actually play the game and not the bloody occasion?
Yeah. I mean, I think Conte will have drummed this into them the entire week. Play a normal game. Don't let the occasion get to them. Okay, it's always going to be in the back of their mind, but I think they're professional enough and experienced enough, and they'll take the experience of going to Anfield and silencing the Anfield crowd. Who are, let's face it, 20 times better than the crowd we're playing this afternoon in Norwich. So, I think they'll go out there, they'll play their normal game. I expect us to go at Norwich because Norwich don't do that much of a press. So there's going to be very little pressing going on the pitch. So we should be able to exploit the space. So, no, they'll play the normal game. Okay, if things aren't going well at half-time, plan B has to come in, maybe shift things around a bit. But my worry, just a little bit of worry, is our bench again today is going to be threadbare.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be filled with the young lads, And I suppose one thing would be nice to see is, say at 2 or 3-0 up with 10 minutes to go, to give the likes of Alfie Devine, if he's on the bench, or Dane Scarlett a run, just to show that they're wanted. And let's hope it comes to that. We're not hanging on to a 1-0 win after 89 minutes. There'll be no substitutions made of that type anyway. But no, play the normal game. That's all we can ask.
100%. I agree more. I think it's very important because, look, before, I think we've definitely been guilty of trying to play the occasion rather than the game. So hopefully today, Conte just has them focused on the game and not the occasion. I mean, you can celebrate the occasion after. But Philip, what I also want to know, and then we'll go around the panel with this one, are there any players today who we could potentially be seeing playing their last game in a Tottenham jersey?
Davinson Sanchez probably is the one that springs to mind. The talk of Lucas Moura, I think he'll stay. Other than that, I don't want to incur your wrath by saying Harry Winks might come on for a 10-minute cameo, and that will be his last appearance, but I don't think that's going to happen. Of the starting 11, which I'm presuming Sanchez will play instead of Romero, probably he's the only one that won't be there next season. I can't see anyone else of that luck, unless I'm missing someone, but I don't think so.
Yeah. Kuva, yourself, my man?
Players I think we need to get rid of at some point, but I don't see anybody too urgently out the door. Possibly Bergwijn if he comes on, because he's got value, but he's obviously not going to be playing much, so I don't see a lot of point hanging on to him. Davinson Sanchez, I've got a feeling we might be hanging on to him. He's kind of doing all right when he's got good players around him or people are playing well. So I think he can do a job for us on the squad. But obviously, if somebody was going to pay a decent amount of money for him, he's definitely replaceable. But you could see that with a few players. Otherwise, it's players that are injured at the moment anyway. I mean, doubts on Reguilon being here. The way he's been playing lately, he's obviously primed to go out the door if we get a decent offer. Emerson, despite him playing well defensively recently, he's still not a wing back. So he doesn't really fit, but perhaps we might hang on to him just because he does have those defensive qualities all of a sudden. He's looked solid enough to help the likes of Sanchez play well in these last couple of games.
Yeah.
So, I don't think there's a big hurry on players going out at the moment. It's more to do with who we're going to get coming in. That will sort of define everything, in my opinion. Unless we're still going to be doing Levy's usual trick of having to sell first before we buy in. And I think Conte and Paratici are going to sort of persuade him it's the wrong way to do it. Let's get the players in first, then worry about selling them on. Because we miss out. We've missed out so often doing this. But remains to be seen. There's several positions can be upgraded. I think it could be a very exciting summer for us. Hopefully.
I really do. I really do hope so. Yeah, hope so. You know, Daigle's sitting at home breaking more of them coasters now, so he's listening to that. You're getting him angry. But Sean, I mean, any players you think that we will see the last of in the Spurs jersey today?
Oh, you're on mute, mate.
Sorry, boys. The only options really are probably Sanchez, Emerson Royale, and maybe Lucas Moura. I can't see Sessegnon going anywhere in the summer. I don't think Bergwijn will get any game time anyway, unless we're really struggling, which I don't think we will be. Emerson, for me, like I've said to you before, I don't know if this is a conversation maybe we want to go down that kind of should we be selling them or not. But I personally am of the my weight has shifted now on Emerson. I'm not convinced it's necessarily right to sell him. I think he's improved dramatically over the last 3 or 4 games, and I think there is a player in there, and maybe over the summer, more time to learn the position, all that stuff. Maybe I wouldn't mind. I still think we need to get an improved right wing back, but I wouldn't mind us maybe using the 24th or the 25th member of the squad next season in that position, and then keep Doherty, Emerson, and then get someone better. Or if we're going to get someone like a Jed Spence, then I think you could probably put them into the under 23 squad and then just use them in the first team anyway. But Emerson Royale might be his last game, but part of me would be really sad if that's the case. He's really, really grown on me. I've got a little bit of like a cult following love for him now after his exploits, especially with the flair. And I think, you might see Lucas Moura. It depends how ambitious we want to be in the summer with our forward line. I don't mind if Lucas hangs around. I do think that Bergwijn will be first out the door, but you might see us go and buy 2 players in that position. And if so, you could see Bergwijn and Lucas Moura leave. And then Davinson Sanchez, he's definitely playing today. I think there's value in him that you could actually go and sell him on for 20 million. And I'd probably rather do that than have him as a backup, because if we can go and get 2 more centre-backs, a central or a left-sided centre-back in the likes of Pau Torres or Bastoni at left-sided, and then De Vrij or Bremer in the centre, then I think you can just drop down Eric Dyer and Davies to be the squad guys. And then on that basis, then there's no space in the squad for Sanchez. So the most likely candidate, I would say, is probably Sanchez. This is his last game.
Yeah. 100%. Look, Sanchez, Winks. I think Bergwijn, if he comes off the bench for a cameo, I think there's maybe a number of players that we might be seeing at the end of. And look, some people may be upset, but it's for the better in the club in terms of being able to move forward for sure. Dark Sun G says 12 a.m. is the kickoff for me, which is decent for me. I think you said that, Sean. I think you said it around that time. Sean must have international clocks up on his computer. He's one of them guys. But Dark Sun G. It's actually not a bad one. Maybe you can sit down and have a beer and enjoy this one. End the season, brother. Big yourself up, Dark Sun G. Really appreciate the support, my man. It's been incredible throughout the whole season, brother. I really do appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And I really do hope you enjoy the game. And you've been so positive from start to finish. You even call goal difference. Let's get top 4 for you today, brother. Big yourself up, Dark Sun G. William Kelly says, get me on the watch long and then I won't be able to torture you guys. William, if you're on, it gives you more reason to torture me. It gives you in a better position to torture me. So it does, William. Puts you in an even better position.
Simple, David. Get him onto the watch along, put him on mute, but don't tell him.
I'll bring him on. But the minute he says that W word, and it's not wanker, it's the other one, if he says that, he's out. I'm booting him out. It's that simple. Big up, William Kelly. Big up, my man. I'll be in touch, brother. I'll be in touch. Big up, William. DB says, last comment, RE community, which was meant to be super chat, but in short, thank you for your hard graft. DB, I was reading that. I was going to bring it up anyway. But big up, my man. I really do appreciate the support. He says, I came late to this community, but it's such value to being a Spurs fan. Not sure the missus agrees. Onwards and up. Yeah, well, when she sees that garden and it's not done, DB, she definitely won't be agreeing. But you know what? It's not only for you. It's for me as well. Even the likes of Philip, Kuva, Sean, we'll all agree. It's brought value to being a Spurs fan to all of us, being able to speak to so many people across the world. Look, a lot of us are not in a position to be able to go to games, not even in the right country to be able to go to games. But what this does is it brings everybody together. It gives everybody an outlet, everybody a platform to be able to talk about their feelings and talk about the game and the build up to it, rather than just sitting there, watching fraud sports and getting angry. But for me,
sorry, but just to jump just to quickly, it's more than just a community thing. For me, it's like I feel like I've made friends, like genuine friends for life. Not just the people I see on the stream. Obviously, you guys know how much I love you guys. The people in the community. I don't have that many friends anymore where I live. Like I don't. Most of the people I've come back to where I grew up. Everyone that I grew up with has long since moved on to other parts of the world. Yeah. Like I can't imagine my life now without the community, and it blows my mind that 10 months ago I didn't even know this was a thing. So sorry, Dave. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, agree. No. Totally agree. There's people now that I've never met in real life, but I know them like yourselves. Know you so well that if you said, "Oh, I'm coming down to Dorset, such and such," I'd have no hesitation in saying, "Oh, I'll come around and stay at my place."
I am coming down tonight once you win the Golden Boot.
No, with exception.
I've already booked my train ticket, bro.
It's that weird sensation of like you got not just a sort of love and admiration for the other people in the community that you're seeing all the time and you're on streams with, but it's like a sort of an unspoken trust that goes with it as well. You really get to know people because it's been such a godsend during the COVID times that we can all get on like this and have a social. It's kind of like getting down the pub with your mates in a way. So,
and do you know what's great about it? What's great about it as well? Compare the Spurs channels like Dave's channel. Compare that to the Arsenal Fan TV, where they're jumping around all over the place, swearing to beat the band.
So toxic.
I mean, just totally what's the word I'm looking for? Undisciplined. Whereas we're okay, we might not always agree, but nobody starts shouting and roaring at each other. Well, not often anyway,
Yeah.
So it's been a brilliant outlet for Spurs fans, especially me. I mean, I'm living here in the west of Ireland. Yeah. I'm surrounded by Liverpool fans.
Yeah.
I haven't even got an Arsenal fan I can slag locally. That's the bad thing, But it's great. Keep it up.
No, it's been amazing, and what I'm most proud of is look, I thought maybe I'd have people in around my age maybe that would want to come and support the channel, but we have people from old right down to young, and it's absolutely unbelievable. And just the fact that we can all get to know each other from all around the world, it's been absolutely brilliant. And long may it continue, DB. Long may it continue, because we are building up a very good community. A very funny community as well. We all have a good laugh and all have smiles on our faces, which I think is very important in a world where it's all doom and gloom. And now Tottenham are on the rise to match that, DB. But I agree with you, man. This community has added such value to being a Spurs fan, to everybody all across the world, I think. But big up, DB.
Hey, Dave, just before you move on with the conversation, when you finish, Bob Spur has put a comment in just recently.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be a cool one to bring up because he's had a really, really tough time. And
this one?
Yeah, that's the one.
One before that? Yeah, okay. Bob Spur TV says, quickly, on a personal note, I just want to say it'll be a fitting end to what's been a tough 12 months. The community's love, both streamers and in the chat, have been unbelievable. Thank you. 100%, Bob. I mean, look, I'd say it's an emotional one for you, see, even being able to see out the season, you probably thought you wouldn't be alive, if I'm being honest. So the fact that you're there to see out the season is incredible. And look, Bob, you only got the love you deserved. You're so kind to everybody. You help everybody out in the community, and you definitely got the love you deserved, my man. And look, hopefully we can get it done for you as well. And I know it's emotional. I heard you speaking about it last night at the very end of the show, Bob. But big yourself up, and it's good that you're all still here with us. And by the way, I do have a bone to pick with you, actually. Where's my invite for On the Wall, lad? I haven't got one yet. Where is it? Let me know.
Ditto.
Probably lost in the post, Johnny. Mr. Post Box Office probably hasn't delivered it.
Yeah, exactly. I got an invite, but it was when Bob Spur was at a curry, so it wasn't really. It was a kind of.
Big up, Bob. Big up, Bob. Piss off, Bob. Piss off. Big up, Bobby. Big up. And Wayne Bomber says, David, any plans for a season review stream? Wayne, oh my man, just because the season ends, it doesn't mean that this channel is finished for the season. We've got end of season review, end of season fan show. We've got player ratings to do. We've got, look, I've got so much. I'm going to be dropping a little 10, 15-minute video every single day over the course of a month. And basically, it's called Keep, Loan, or Sell. And so we're going to go through each player individually and go through what we think should happen. But look, we've got loads lined up. There's transfers. Trust me, I'm never out of ideas. I am the ideas man around this community, and I've got plenty, my man. So big yourself up, Wayno. Stay tuned. There is lots coming over the summer. I also used to do a segment called Tell Me Your Spurs Story. I want to know if anybody's interested. But I want to kind of mix it up. I do want to go back to that because I do miss that. I loved hearing how people got, into supporting Tottenham, etc., etc. But I'm thinking about doing something slightly a bit different where you guys just go for a walk, record how you got into supporting Tottenham, etc., etc., some of your favourite memories and stuff like that, and get them into me, and I will put them up on the channel. Those that do go to games or living in around Tottenham, I'd love you to do it. Just walking up Tottenham High Road up towards the stadium. It'd be absolutely awesome. But Wayno, there's plenty to come, my man. Do not worry, brother. Do not worry. There is plenty to come. But look, guys, I think we'll move on and maybe talk a little bit about Sonny. Now, of course, Son scored against Norwich in a 3-0 win over the Canaries earlier in the season and is heading into the final game of the season with a chance of picking up the Premier League's Golden Boot. He has 21 goals to his name so far this season, and it's just one behind Mo Salah, more solid on 22. Salah is expected to miss Liverpool's game versus Wolves today, which means a single goal at Carroll Road would see him share the prize with the Egyptian, but a brace would see him claim it outright. He faces a Norwich team that have conceded a whopping 29 goals this season, like I said, the most in the league. You can see on the pitch, Son is desperate. You've seen it against North London Derby coming off. He's so desperate to grab that golden boot. Is today the day he gets it done? I suppose we'll start with the man with that's set to maybe pick up a bit of a substantial bonus today. Kuva, will he get it done today, lad?
Of course he will. He'll get a brace. And Davinson Sanchez with the other one. Comfortable 3-0 win. Sonny's just fantastic for us. Always has been.
Like that.
To think in his first season, he wasn't quite settled and he was getting eased into the team with Pochettino a bit. And we didn't really know if he was going to be staying or not. And to think that was the case at one point, it was just unreal. Because since then, he's the talisman. Him and Kane, it's always been them two, hasn't it? It's we've had the Dele Allis, the Ericssons, and coming through, and the Dembele, and Toby and Jan at the back, and Lloris, of course. But it's always been about Son and Kane because they're the ones you see on the score sheet week in, week out. They've just been fantastic, the pair of them. Sonny has really stepped up to. You'd argue he's been the main man this season. Kane's had his troubles at the start of the season and come into it, but Sonny, it's just like a metronome. He just keeps popping up, goal, goal, goal. It's he's been superb for us this season. He fully deserves to get the golden boot, I think. And he should have been in that all the player of the year conversations. He should have been shortlisted for the top on all of them. As far as I'm concerned. It's just, we're not Man City and we're not Liverpool, so we don't get quite those sort of bits of interest and don't get the publicity that we deserve for it. And that reflects on Sonny. But what an amazing player. And just look at the impact he's got, across Asia as well. You look at all the Korean fans, how crazy they are about him. It's brilliant to see. And we're lucky to have him at the club. He just adds so much, and his beaming smile, it's such a feel-good factor when he scores a goal. There's pure joy on his face. Instantly celebrate it with your teammates. I mean, some players go with the flamboyant celebrations in front of the fans, which is all well and good, but Sonny is a sort of more modest kind of, I just love this, and thanks, guys, sort of thing. It's, you just I feel like it's a more natural sort of, natural thing with him. It's, I'll just love the bloke. I think we all do.
No, 100%, my man. I completely agree. I think, look, even when he wasn't playing well and people were maybe giving a bit of criticism, he was still chipping in with goals or assists, and that's the sign of a very good player. Philip, look, regardless whether he wins it or doesn't win it, How much of a spectacular season as Tottenham's Player of the Year had this season?
Oh, I mean, he's okay. In previous seasons, he's been second in the scoring charts to Harry Kane, and maybe with the assists, well up there with the assists. Like this season, he's taken up the mantle. Harry wasn't firing on all cylinders till Conte came in, and Son was keeping the goals ticking over in the meantime. And the fact that he's gone on now to be pushing for the Golden Boot, it's a credit to the guy. Because, I mean, I was just watching the end of season, the last home game last week, when the players were walking around the pitch with their families. And Son would appear to be the favourite uncle to all the other players' kids. They're all running to him, and he seems to love those kids like he was his own. He just seems to be a genuinely nice guy who's, unaffected by his success. And, okay, I think that's probably down to his parents, because his parents really keep it tight. His father, especially, But I think it's an absolute credit to the guy. He's if there is such a thing, he's a model footballer. Yeah. He's what every footballer should aspire to be like, in his attitude, in his way he conducts himself. He's not going out getting pissed in nightclubs. He looks after himself, and the goals are a credit and a fitting reward for the effort he's put in for Spurs this season, every other season. And the fact that he's a national hero in Korea, I mean, his Korea's David Beckham, I think would be the best way of describing it. And he's bringing an awful lot of Far Eastern fans into the Spurs fold, which is another way of looking at it. I mean, you only have to look at the amount of Koreans at every home game. You know, and he wins that Golden Boot, and Spurs qualify for the Champions League. You can imagine the reaction is going to be in his home city, home country of South Korea. More fans for us next year. So well done, Son. You're absolutely brilliant. I wish we had more players coming through like you. You're one of a kind, though. That's the only problem. And hopefully Kane and himself both get on the score sheet today, and Sonny gets 2 goals and wins the Golden Boot, and that will really piss off the Liverpool fans.
Yeah, and it'll be a big fuck you to the PFA for not putting him in the fans.
Exactly. Exactly. It's an absolute joke that he wasn't nominated. Absolute joke.
Just should be an honor. It's that simple.
Yeah.
He's had an unbelievable season, an absolute unbelievable season. Still over 500 in the house, 524 people watching live, carrying 500 for the last hour. It's absolutely insane. Everybody keep smashing that like button and that subscribe button. But Shawnee, I mean, I'm sure you probably are in for a bit of a windfall if Son scores. I don't think you're the sort of guy that would miss out on that opportunity. I think you'd be joining Cuba. But I mean, do you think Son will get the Golden Boot? And how special is it for Son to win that Golden Boot, considering nobody had him in the conversation before the season even started?
The reasons why Sonny needs to get this today are they're so plentiful, it's insane. Not only because of how great a guy, for all the reasons that Phil just laid out, what an absolute professional he is, how happy he looks plying his craft. He's an inspiration to 80 million South Koreans, to many million English people and people around the world. Gary Neville comes out and says, I'm going to give him the shout just because he doesn't get the credit he deserves and because of the joy he demonstrates that he's, we could all be so lucky as to play football for a career, but 99% of footballers don't show that. They don't in any way demonstrate how grateful they should be for what God has given them and what hard work has created for them. But to be able to play football your whole life, and Sonny shows that every minute of every game. He's also because of the fact that he was left out of the PFA thing. There's a million stats flying around. You compare him to Kevin De Bruyne and even those two, and there's no argument that Kevin De Bruyne shouldn't be in the shortlist. But Sonny's done far better than Kevin De Bruyne. There's no reason at all why any of the others, Conor Gallagher and Phil Foden, why any of those people should be in there. And so for that reason alone, those debates will and should carry on regardless. But if Sonny goes and gets 2 goals today and wins the outright Golden Boot, considering where he was at the start of the season, the disrespect that's been shown to him, in no small part because he's not English and because he doesn't come from a European country or a country that's famous for generating wonderful footballers, then I just think it means extra. It would mean so much more to be able to kind of fly in the face of those disgraceful decisions that have happened. So for me personally, just because I love him, I want him to do it. I want him to do it because I want the people that made those decisions to be embarrassed. I also want it to happen so I can get on my train tonight and come and join Kuva in the local casino and see what happens. And I've also put a few other bets on myself just because it makes sense. It would make no sense not to do it. So there's a multitude of reasons why for me, Sonny's going to do it today, and I'm going to join you, Kuva. Get ready, make a space on your couch for Shawnee. I'm coming, bro.
I love it. Two more things I want to touch on, just the Kane and Son partnership, and then a little bit on the fans. But look, on a personal one, I do hope Son wins. I think he's had an incredible season from start to finish. I think this is the season where he's truly been recognised as world class. He's come out of Kane's shadow, and it's now all about Son and Kane, which is what we want to see. Hopefully, Kulusevski can do the same next season, but Son deserves the golden boot for the consistency he's had under Nuno and under Conte. So big up, Son. What a season. Tottenham's player of the year. And let's get it done today. Let's give a big FU to the PFA, to the FA, to the Premier League, and everybody else who hates Tottenham. Come on, Sonny. Let's do it. Now, I do want to talk a little bit on Kane and Son. I did make a little bit of graphic when above and beyond today. As you can see here, Kane and Son in the Premier League this season. Appearances. Oh, 1 second. I'll take that banner down for a sec. Appearances, 36. Kane has the Son's 34. Kane has 16 goals. Son has 21. Kane has 126 shots. Son has only 79. Shows how clinical he's been. And Son has 7 assists. And Kane has 8 assists. And this isn't to see who's better here. Obviously, Son has had the better season. But what I want to talk about is Kane and Son have both at times this season carried us and also broke the record to become the most deadly duo ever in the Premier League. How special is their partnership, and will we ever see anything like it again? And Mr. Brady, we'll let you start with this one, buddy.
No, it's been a brilliant partnership. I mean, I think you look back over the years with Spurs. There's been a few of them. There was Jimmy Greaves and Alan Gilzine, the G-men. Sheringham and Crooks and Archibald was another one. Sheringham and Kingsman, they were another great partnership. But I think this one has probably topped a lot of them, to be honest with you. You know, to have the most goals and assists between them is quite an achievement. And there's Harry Kane. He's only 5 goals off the Golden Boot, and he only started playing in December. When you think about it. They're a brilliant partnership, and next season I think is going to be another great season for them. We're so lucky to have them, really. They do not get the credit they deserved because again they don't play for Liverpool or Man United or Man City, and that's why this afternoon it'd be great if the two of them were on the score sheet and could just do a real FU to the Sky Sports. All the pundits that knock us down all the time. And those two guys are special, and we're lucky to have them. And Kane's going nowhere.
100%.
Which is great. It's great to have silence on that this season. This time last year, it was nothing but everywhere you opened up, Kane's going to Man City, Kane's going here, Kane's going there. The laugh of the week was, I saw somebody was saying, Harry Kane should sign for Manchester United. That is a total joke.
Yeah.
You might as well sign for Accrington Stanley and sign for that lot.
As you can see, guys, Philip is getting warmed up nicely for the game. He's warming up nicely, so he can't help but come out and slander Sky Sports. He's got to get it in there somewhere. I love it. It's been consistent.
Wouldn't miss it.
Everybody,
I think this lack of respect for the likes of Sonny as well is part of what's driving us on. We were talking earlier in the season, weren't we, about siege mentality and what they did at Man United under Ferguson when it's us against them lot. We've already agree that there's media conspiracy against us. There was media bias, I should say, rather than conspiracy. The fact that the Son's getting overlooked for this sort of player of the year stuff and not getting the credit they're due. I think we're all coming together as a team that we're fortifying ourselves and we're saying, right, go out and we'll just take it. And like Philip says, fingers up to the lot of them. And I think it's actually working in our favour. it's a shame for Son on a personal level, and for the club that he doesn't get that recognition. But the stats will prove what he does this season. Golden Boot, he'll take that home. They're going to have to pay attention to that, aren't they?
100% they will. 100% they will. Just quickly, big up Rob Coyne. Big up, my man. Good to see you in the building. Nice and early for you. DB, he says it's 9 o'clock and then some Guinness to wash it down, getting ready and warmed up. Look, maybe if you put the pressure in the comments, hashtag Sean, where's your guitar? Maybe Sean might play us a sing-song on the way out to get everybody pumped up. I'm not sure. He might, but put the pressure on him. Big up, DB, and everybody. Give Jack a lot of love in the comments. And Nick as well. Nick and Jacko, boys have been absolutely incredible this season, guys. Give them a lot of love in the comments. Trying to find Jack's last comment. Can't find it, but Jack, I know you're in here.
It's four from the bottom.
We've got one of them. We've got one of them. That's all that matters. Everybody give Jack a lot of love in the comments. But Kuva, do you think we will ever see the likes of a Kane and Son partnership again? It is a rarity.
Yeah, of course we will. It just might take a while. Philip was saying again, quite rightly, we've had some great partnerships over the years. Is the current one as good as the likes of Greaves and Gilzine? I'll probably say it probably isn't. The stats might suggest otherwise, but Jimmy Greaves is legendary the footballer for any team, and you can't sort of, as much as I love Kane and Son, I wouldn't elevate them to his level. The lots of people say Greaves is the greatest player to ever pull on a Spurs shirt. So that's just to be mentioned in the same breath as them is great accolade for them anyway. Of course we'll see them again. We'll see something similar again. It's just enjoy it while it lasts, because it might be a little while before we see anything quite this special. Yeah,
100%. I agree. I think it's one of them. You won't realize how good it is until it's kind of gone, until you see that, until you don't see that sort of link up anymore. But Shawnee, my man, just talk for 2 minutes on the Kane Son partnership. I have to run off and straighten the spuds. I will be back in 30 seconds.
Wow, the Son and Kane partnership is it's like no other. There is no other. It was clearly the stats show it, guys. Right? There's no other partnership like it in history of the Premier League. There won't be for decades to come, in my opinion. As long as Sonny and Kane, well, Sonny's already got his new contract. The only thing I'm worried about with the Kylian Mbappe stuff, I do worry that him staying at Paris Saint-Germain has opened up a potential wormhole in regards to what happens now with Real Madrid's plans, because they thought they had Mbappe and Paris Saint-Germain already had people in place to take his space. But now that they don't, now that Real Madrid don't, are they going to go after someone who's a left-sided wing forward? And you know what? If you are going to go after someone who's a left-sided wing forward, is there a better man out there? I don't want them to come and try and test a resolve with Daniel Levy in the summer, because the media now don't have a story to try and push about Tottenham all summer long. The Man City Kane saga is over. Man City have got Haaland, so now are they going to turn their attentions to Sonny going to Real Madrid or some sort of merry-go-round there? I really hope not. But if they don't, if Sonny and Kane are left alone and Kane gets his new contract, which I hope he will, then the pair of them are just unstoppable together. They're going to, not only are they going to get 3 goals today and increase their difference between them and Lampard and Drogba, but they're also going to just carry on next season and the season after. And I think by the time that those two are finished playing together at Tottenham, they could have had whatever, I'm not sure what the number is currently, 29 or whatever it is. I think they'll have more like 50, 60 goal contributions between themselves. And it will just be a record that will never be, it won't be broken for any time, for decades, probably long after we've left this realm. So there's nothing more to say really. When the stats are that incredible, it doesn't take a Tottenham fan to have to point it out. The guys work together so well, and long may it continue for many seasons to come.
No,
did you strain the spuds?
Yeah, I did, lad. You know what I mean by that. Not literally, but I had to run off. I'm back. That's the main thing. Paddy Harnett says, David sent you a DM on Twitter for info on how to set up the Fire Stick. Can you send it on to Phil? will do. Of course, I will, my man. Big yourself up. Big up, Paddy. What an absolute legend, sorting everybody out. And I didn't think it was possible, but he's managed to get Teagle to stop with the Levy out until the end of the season.
Yeah, it's insane.
You swung that one, Paddy.
That is insane.
I don't know how you swung that one, but fair play. You must have been working on it for quite some time. Look, just bring up the graphic one last time because it did take me quite a while to do, just because I'm proud of it. But guys, there you are. There's the stats for Kane and Son this season. Absolutely incredible from the two of them. And what I will say is that today, you know, next season, enjoy this partnership because we don't know how long it's going to last. And, you know, we'll only realize how much we had since, you know, when it's gone. So I do encourage everybody, absolutely enjoy it from here on out.
Dave?
Yeah?
Can I ask you a quick question? I'll have to ask all three of you.
Yeah,
even though Kane has intimated that should Tottenham get a penalty today, I think he said, if we're 3-0 up, we'll see what happens. If we're not, we'll see what happens. Or I think that he was actually answering that about when it was the Arsenal game. But if Tottenham get a penalty today in the first half and we're 0-0, do you think Sonny should get the chance to take it? Or is business?
Conte, I think he was already asked that in his press conference. He said that.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
He said that Kane will take it, and depending on the situation, you know, if there's another one or that after that. Look, Kane will take it if there's something still, if Norwich is still in the game. If not, then there probably will be a possibility of Son taking it, I think is what he said.
Okay.
So, but
do you agree? Do you agree with that?
I agree. Look, for me, Harry Kane has scored, 23 consecutive penalties now for Tottenham Hotspur. For me, if they're still in the game, I would let Kane take it. And it's not against Sonny. But at the end of the day, team comes first, and you've got to make sure you secure Champions League football. Yeah. I don't think some. I think some would like to end it on not having to rely on penalties. To be honest with you, he hasn't had to take one this season whatsoever. So I do think he would get more satisfaction out of winning the Golden Boot without penalties. Kuva, you're nodding your head. Do you agree?
Absolutely. I want Sonny to do it without having a penalty on there to blot it, because it really rubs it in Salah's face then, doesn't it?
What about free kick? 23 yards out. Just left of the post.
Yeah, that's okay. That'll do.
Yeah, well, he should probably take the free kick anyway because nobody else seems to be able to.
Mood Dog's pulling his hair out. He's like, Sean, stop! I want Dyer taking him.
I want Dyer taking him. Yeah,
that's true. He's not bad actually, Dyer. He's got reasonable accuracy with the free kicks.
He hit the post with one earlier on in the season and suddenly ended up getting the rebound.
Yeah.
Reguilon, wasn't it?
Reguilon tapped in.
Oh, was it Reguilon?
He scored for England in the World Cup with a free kick as well, didn't he?
That's right.
Yeah, Eric Dyer should be our free kick specialist. If not him, it should be Sonny, but it's certainly not Harry Kane.
I would let Son on today.
It sounds so crazy, but it's true.
100%.
Anyway, I think Sonny just take the Golden Boot without a penalty to his name. That'll just be brilliant. It shows the quality of the man. Interesting with those stats you brought up, Dave. The shot conversion rate, literally, Sonny's double the accuracy. Well, shot conversion, I mean. So that is quite something.
79 shots. And
near enough a goal every 4 shots, and Kane near enough a goal every 8 shots. Yeah, it's incredible. Quite a difference, isn't it? But it's the difference in style. Sonny's the clinical finisher, and Kane is more the sort of rough and tumble. He will create chances for himself using his strength. He'll probably take them from longer range a lot of the time as well. It's interesting comparing them, but Sonny is the assassin, isn't he? He's just a sniper scopes on both feet.
He's been so clinical this season, you know. And what I love is that his game is actually adapting. I don't know whether you agree, Philip, but rather than him hanging out on the left and trying to create chances for himself, what Conte has done is actually just instructed your son to use his pace, cut inside and make that direct running behind. How many times have we seen it with him being fed and put in on goal? It's been absolutely unbelievable for him, for Conte to come in and change the way he plays and still hit the numbers he's hit. Do you think he's benefited from Conte?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think the whole team, there's not a player in that squad, well, maybe 1 or 2, but that hasn't upped their game by 20-30% under Conte. Look at the likes of Ben Davis, Matt Doherty, Eric Dyer, the ones that we were crucifying before Christmas.
Yeah,
we're not doing that anymore because they've upped their game. They've They've listened to what he's had to say. They've taken it in and they put it into practice. And you can't ask for any more than that. And what he's done with Son, I mean, he's taken an excellent finisher and made him into an absolutely brilliant finisher.
Yeah.
Clinical.
Spot
clinical,
on.
yeah.
Spot on. Dark Son G says, also after the criticism before West Ham game, Son scored 11 plus goals and Salah went quiet, which is great. I mean, how can he not be nominated when he scored and assisted against City and Liverpool? Amazing. Yeah. It's biased. It's anti-Tottenham biased is what it is. Look, we've seen it this season with the FA, with the Premier League. We've seen it with the Europa Conference League, UEFA. The PFA now. It's just so blatant, lad. It's just so blatant, Dark Son G. It's just anti-Tottenham. If someone was at Liverpool, he'd be spoke about every single week. And they'd be in for the awards, 100%. I mean, someone said to me, do you think it's because, they value the players that have won things? But what's Conor Gallagher want to be in there? What's Declan Rice want to be in there? Sonny should be in there ahead of them at the end of the day, Dark Son G. And look, I hope he gets it because then you'll see all of them, because they'll have no option but to praise him because he finished Golden Boot. They'll have no option. Watch them all scramble, my man. But big up, Dark Son G, brother. Really appreciate it.
Just get in there and say one thing. Yeah, there's an article on the Irish News here. I think it was on Thursday evening. It was during the sports. They mentioned that Divock Origi was leaving Liverpool, and they interviewed Jurgen Klopp about him. And I says, "What the? The guy can't barely get to a game for Liverpool, and there he's getting a spot on national news on RTE in Ireland. That just shows you what we're up against. Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp has been on TV more times than I don't know who am I talking about here. Ed Sheeran this year, I think. He's just every time we push on the TV, Jurgen Klopp is on it, and that's what we're up against. It's sad. It's great if you're a Liverpool fan.
That's why it's us against the world, Phil. That's why we need to get together and go. Screw the media, screw the haters.
So I'm waiting for RTE. When Harry Winks is on the transfer list, I'm expecting him to go to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and say Harry Winks is now on the transfer list.
I love it. But look, Dark Son G, my man, big up. Really appreciate the support, brother. Really, really do appreciate it. It really does go a long way. So thank you, my man. And great chat there, my man. Getting Philip going again. Once again, I think you do that on purpose, Dark Son G. Big up, my man. Guys, it is. But last but not least, I do want to save a quick special, mention for the fans. The Tottenham fans all over the world have been absolutely incredible with their support for the team this season. Not only the team, but all the fan channels as well, especially since Conte has come in. Conte has brought the team, the management, and fans all together, creating some incredible atmospheres at the stadium this year. How important is it for the fan base to unite next season and get behind the club? And we'll start with you on this one, Sean.
But we've been talking about it, right? Like it's more important, than ever, because we're on the cusp of just turning the screw, changing the cycle. Everything can change for Tottenham right now. If we get the job, when we get the job done today, that we're in the Champions League. But I think that this next. Everything changes. It's not just about Tottenham. It's about you look at Arsenal as well. Arsenal, spend 10 seconds on them. They need to sign players that are in specific positions that are incredibly competitive positions with very few available options. They can't sign the highest quality that they need if they don't have the Champions League, right? So they're going to be left behind with Newcastle coming up behind them, with other teams that are trying to close the gap. Tottenham right now, this is like a sliding doors moment in Tottenham's life, Tottenham's future, Tottenham's present, Tottenham's past. If we can get this done and then go on in the summer and Daniel Levy says, all right, okay, I'm going to step back, hand over. We've got the money. We've got the economic rationale to loosen the purse strings because debt is cheaper than inflation. There's never a better time right now than to seize the moment, carpe diem, and go for it. And if we can, as a Tottenham fan base, all we can do is hope for the best because we can't control or change what happens. We just have to show our absolute support and backing behind certain people like Conte. Get that guy, convince that guy to sign an extension. Break the habit of a lifetime, Conte. Spend more than 2 seasons at one club. You can be a part of a project that is going to cement you in the history books as one of the best managers of all time that took an also ran team and made them break and make history. Get him on board, get Kane signed up to a new contract, bring in half a dozen new players, get rid of Deadwood. All of that can happen if we believe, but for the little part that the fans can play in it, we have to get behind the team, show nothing but absolute support, and then over to Daniel Levy in the summer to make it rain, bro. And if we can do that, then the world's a fucking horrible place right now. There's more reasons to be sad and to feel sorry for yourself than there is to feel optimistic. Whatever's happening, geopolitics, the economics of the world, everyone's got a reason to be like, man, I'm down. But things like Tottenham Hotspur, whatever team you support, that's the thing that kind of gets you out of bed and gets you motivated. And Tottenham are in a very unique position right now where we are one of the few teams that actually have so much to look forward to. So get behind the team today, get behind the team all summer. And for me personally, I know you guys are all part of the kind of bloodline of the community because you spend your free time listening to, idiots like us explain what our opinions are. But I haven't got to say this to you guys. I just hope everybody else out there, people that don't necessarily spend that much time, thinking about Tottenham, get behind the team. Less toxicity or no toxicity. Just believe, back it, and we can do it. And then God knows where we can go from here. The sky is the limit, baby. And I'm on board. Let's do it, Tottenham.
Come on, absolutely love that. Absolutely love that. And look, Spurs fans worldwide, they deserve next season. They deserve to have a good season next season, and the board to back them purely because we have the best fan base in the world. And even going through the hard times, I mean, we've suffered some of the lowest lows in a long time over the last couple of years. And I do think the Spurs fans deserve it. Everybody worldwide stuck by the club through thick and thin. We really do deserve to come out the other side together. But Kuva, I mean, what's your thoughts on it, on the Spurs fans this season?
This season, it's turned out to be brilliant. It's culminated in that home game against Arsenal, where somebody said that the meter was taken along to the game and the decibel level reached 145 or something like that.
Yeah, incredible.
It's the point where concerts get taken down if they reach that sort of noise level. It's just unbelievable. The Gooners had lost before they kicked a ball, really. It was so hostile. If we can keep recreating something, we're not going to get that every game because, I mean, it's always special, the North London derby. But if we can get something approaching that on a regular basis, we'll be one of the most feared places to come for any team in the world.
Yeah.
And how can we not want that? The fans play a huge role. I'd like to think the couple of seasons we've had just going past when things have not been going our way, we've been struggling. The football's been crap at times. We're all at each other's throat because everybody's angry, everybody's pissed off, wondering what's happened since Pochettino's great years we had under him. That's all behind now. It feels like we're coming together again. Let's just realise that all we want collectively is to see great players coming into the club, us playing some great football and winning some bloody trophies.
Yeah.
If we stay focused on that and come together, realise that is the goal, we go along with the team and we will help push the team along. Conte is a big part of that as well. He is that manager that's a real link between the fans and the players on the pitch, because he goes mental when sometimes he's responsible for getting the crowd going at times.
Yeah.
We had the lovely family atmosphere under Pochettino, but Conte is like next level as a kind of that Italian craziness that you've got to love it. It's infectious, and it's feeling like that's the way we're heading now. We've got this passion, the Italian passions spread into the fans, and we're seeing it at the ground, and the team's responding. Some of these players that were so average before are starting to play well because of it. Long may it continue. Let's do our part, and the team won't let us down.
100%. 100%. And I mean, Philip, anything you want to say to the fans out there, my man?
Well, I think Sean and Kuba have covered, they've very eloquently put what I was going to say myself, really. I mean, all I can add to it is this. I mean, the South Stand was built to create noise, to intimidate the opposition. And boy, God, did they do it at the Arsenal game. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal were complaining to the Noise Abatement Society during the match. We get it called off because of the noise level, No, I mean, we've got, listen, I'm going back to my old saying again, if they build it, they will come. We've got the ground, we've got the training facilities. Next season, we'll have the team to do it. The fans are going to have a ball next season. That's all I can say. Tottenham Hotspur, I keep calling it White Hart Lane because to me it is White Hart Lane, is going to be a fortress again. Teams are going to fear coming to play us, and the crowd has an awful lot to do with that. You can nearly see the players perking up a bit when the crowd starts roaring. I mean, you see Conte on the sideline going like that to the crowd. It's shiver down your spine to see the reaction from the crowd. So, we are gonna have a very good couple of seasons if we stick with Conte. If Kane signs a new contract, we bring in the players that we need, get rid of the deadwood that we don't need, and the fans. There's no negativity. There's no bigging up other teams, saying they're better than Spurs. If you were telling,
I know who you're talking about.
Well, I mean, if you're coming along and saying that West Ham and Brighton are better than Spurs, you're not a Spurs fan. Let's face it, you're not.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it at that. But I mean, those sort of things absolutely sicken me. If you're a Spurs fan, you're with them thick and thin. You're not bigging up other teams saying they're better than they are. There are teams better than us. The Man City and Liverpool are better than us. But other than that, I don't think anybody's better than us.
Yeah,
and it's up to us to bridge the gap there. And we will bridge the gap. It's not going to be too long before we have a championship coming to White Hart Lane.
The other thing that I think about this season as well is I've heard people saying they don't want us to get Champions League because they think we'll embarrass ourselves.
Oh, God almighty.
Absolutely.
Who want us to get Champions League because they wanted to?
Who are some of the best teams in the Champions League? Oh, Liverpool, Man City. How did we do against them this season? There's nothing fair in the Champions League. Let's get in there. It's where we want to be.
I think next season. I think next season.
You know what? I'm dying for us to play Bayern Munich again.
Same.
I want another fight of that.
Yeah.
That story's not over, bro. It's not over. Right. It's round two. Ding ding. Let's go.
I will have to end it off. I am over on We Are Talking TV in 15 minutes. But before we go, first of all, I want to say a massive thank you to Philip, to Kuva, to Sean, and to Brian Dager for coming on today. I made an absolute incredible show. I want to say a massive thank you to all of you guys out there watching, who has shown us unbelievable support from the very start of the season to the very end of the season. Look, a person like me, who looks like me, who speaks like me, is not supposed to be doing something like this. And your support really does mean a lot to me. You have no idea. And it's absolutely incredible. And long may it continue, and hopefully continue over the summer into next season. But look, I'm getting emotional, so we're going to pass it on. Shawnee, where can people find you and what's your score prediction, brother?
Before I get to that, mate, just quickly, people like you are supposed to be doing things like what you're doing. You and Jack Kanicki are brothers to me. I absolutely adore you guys, and the passion that you show and the community that you've built is not by a fluke. It's not because for any other reason other than you were meant to do this. This was your calling, and you do the Tottenham community absolutely proud, mate. So big up to you, big up to Jack. I know you're at the wedding right now getting drunk, mate, but it'd be a shame. It's a shame you're not going to be on the watch long, mate, but many more to come. I love both of you. You guys can find me at Spurs Talk Show, all one word, because if you don't put the spaces in, you might find a basketball team in Texas, and we don't want you to do that. So come find me at Spurs Talk Show on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And the channel's really kicking off. It's taking off, and it's mainly because of the guys in this community that have come over and showed their support, and also because of the guy next to me, Kuva, who's pretty much on every single stream. So massive big up to you as well, Kuva, and to Dave and to Jack and Phil. I absolutely love you, mate. But Spurs Talk Show is where you can find me. Phil, I need to have you on my channel, by the way. You haven't made your debut yet.
Anytime.
I'll put you on very soon, buddy. Spurs Talk Show, guys. Thank you. Thanks for listening to me rant this morning.
No, absolutely love it. Sean, get the guitar ready. We'll get you to play us out. But guys, here's the link to Sean's channel in the chat here. Please get over there and smash that subscribe button. He's been unbelievable since he's come onto the channel, you know. And look, I'll thank him anyway at the watch along. I'll thank him at the watch along. But guys, in the meantime, get over there and smash that subscribe button. He's been absolutely incredible for what he's done with myself and Jack. Kuva, I don't know who you're bigging up today. What channel? Give it to me, my man. And what's your score prediction?
All of them. I'll leave the big channels alone because they're doing fine as they are. They don't need me to big them up. But all of those small channels out there, when you see streamers on that you're enjoying, give them a little like, subscribe to them, leave a comment in the comment section on after the show's finished if necessary. Join in. They thrive on it. It's nothing, no greater kick for a streamer to see they're getting engagement with the people on the channel. Yeah. And if you do that, it just makes it a nice environment and it gives you more confidence to keep going. So big up all those little channels, give them a little like, tickle the subscribe button and the likes and the comments, and let's just drive ourselves along because we're all in it together. And we see, you look in the comment section anywhere and you recognize names from all sorts of channels. Because we tend to go, we do this. We go around in packs, going around to see, who's the next one on today? We'll all head over there, and we become friends, become used to how each person is. Saw a little comment about Alex Davies saying he's like a secret gooner and stuff like that, but he's not. He's nothing of the sort. He just has his sights set above the clouds for what he wants for us. So some people will say it's delusional, but I get where he's coming from. He just won't settle for average. We've got to be better than that all the time.
Do you know what it is? I just struggle from to say he's not settling for average when he wanted Winks and Dele Alli in a team. You know, that's the only thing, Cooper. That's the only thing. But look, Alex is a Spurs fan and he is good crack. He does wind you up. He does wind you up, you know, when he talks about Leicester and West Ham and stuff like that. But I agree with Kuva. Any Spurs channel you see out there, regardless whether you're going to listen to it or not in the future, smash that subscribe button and give them the support anyway. They're a yid at the end of the day. So everybody that's a yid deserves the support. Philip, I don't know what you want to do. I don't know if you have anybody to big up or what you want to do. A final message to the Spurs fans out there. I'm not sure.
Just enjoy the day. By quarter to 6 this evening, we'll be in the Champions League and we can go and celebrate and we can all relax for a few weeks and watch the developments at the club, which hopefully will be positive. New players coming in, old players going out. Good time to be a Spurs fan, and I'll be delighted to be back on here again on Monday night, maybe to celebrate the Champions League.
100%. I absolutely love that. But guys, hopefully we see you all back here at 3:45 p.m. for the L Watch Along, where it be myself, Jack, and Shawnee. You know, hopefully having a bit of crack and bring the party.
Jack's on the watch along, is he today?
He's getting the early train home. He got up nice and early to get back for it. Or he's trying to
Hey, Jackie! Lovely stuff.
We need him back so that he can share the same stream to me and you anyway, Sean. We need him back. So that next time you do get back. But guys, on a serious note, absolutely incredible support today. Over 500 our stream. Absolutely incredible. We are going to get Shawnee to play us out. But just before we do, smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button. Feel free to get your comments in. Again, thank you to everybody who helps us support us financially. It's absolutely incredible. And look, all Spurs channels, without your support, it's near impossible for them to get better, put it that way. You know, so your support to all Spurs channels, you know, is absolutely incredible. Nobody has any big media companies behind them, have any big wig behind them, helping them out. So it's absolutely, you know, it really, really does help. So big yourselves up, everybody. And we'll all see you back here at 3:45 p.m. for the watch along. Sean, take it away, my man.
This is a real short one. I've just literally learned it whilst the stream was going on. The calls are a little bit tricky. Well, we haven't spoken about a guy today who's been a massive part of the season. This one's to you, big man. I hope you have a good last game of the season and secure it for us. He's the reason we'll be playing on Wednesday next season. He came from his mate from Sweden. Rodrigo Bentancur.
Sean, give us the LA before we go. Come on, give it to us.
Right. Now we go to Norwich.
point is all we need. If Arsenal don't beat the Toffees, qualification's guaranteed. The golden boot is Sonny's. To score he needs one chance. Then we all stop singing Spursy, 'cause top four's really ours. Alley, alley, alley. Alley, alley, alley. Alley, alley, alley. Alley, alley, alley. Come on, you Spurs!
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
3:45. Come on, you Spurs. In Conte, we trust, baby. Woo!
Everywhere we go.